21-13 edge in the series. The longest winning streak in the series belongs to the Cavemen at 8, but the current streak is 3. And a note, Reggie Glon's last regular season loss, that's right, came at the hands of the Mishawaka Cavemen back on October 6th, 2017. Gonna bring in my broadcast partner for the year, Coach Mike Rock. And Coach, when we look at these two teams, we'll start with the Marian offense. Everything has to go up front, and it's led by a really good senior center, our All-State nominee, Giovanni Garcia de la Torre. We'll be saying his name a lot, but there are a lot of weapons behind him, and it all starts with their junior quarterback, Lucas Marr.
Yeah, I was watching Giovanni in pregame here, and watching him snap and coming out of his stance. He looks intimidating. He's got good size. His snap is quick and accurate to the quarterback's waist, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him play tonight. He's got some tough competition ahead of him, and I'm going to see how he can push those people out of the way so that Marian can get a ground game going tonight.
Yeah, Lucas Marr won the quarterback battle in the scrimmage against Walworth C. He'll have plenty of weapons to go to. He'll have 3 300-yard receivers, returning Braxton Brooks, Deuce Owens, and Jack Durrell. He'll have Brian Osmond, he of the 1,000 all-purpose yard season ago. As we look at their defense, it's going to start with one of the best linebackers in the Northern Indiana Conference, Joe Boone, coming back 105 tackles a year ago, 14 and a half of those for a loss.
You know, having Joe Boone on the team probably really helps their center, Garcia de la Torre. I'm also looking forward to watching Joseph Boone and see how he reads this Mishawaka offense that really is focused on the ground game and misdirection and just being physical. So I'm looking forward to seeing Joseph Boone and how he matches up with the Mishawaka offense here tonight.
Well, talking about that Mishawaka offense, not a lot of offensive weapons returning. Their leading rusher from a year ago, or leading returning rusher, Caden Smith, 242 yards a season ago. A lot of pressure is going to be on a young man who's been around this program a lot. The last name at least has, as has this young man. And it's going to fall on the shoulders of quarterback Landon Snyder to lead the Cavemen.
Yeah, he's a sophomore, and he's stepping in under center to lead this Cavemen attack, which mostly focuses on a ground game and misdirection. I'm wondering how many times they're going to let Landon throw the ball tonight. JP, what do you think? Any more than 5?
I mean, I would say if the ground game is going, I'd be shocked to see him put the ball up 5 times or more.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And the defense, of course, one of the most vaunted defenses, not just in the Northern Lakes Conference, but probably in Northern Indiana. It's led by primetime 25 member Jackson Snyder, 88 tackles a year ago, and all-state linebacker Camden Putz, 79 tackles a year ago. All 4 linebackers return, all 4 of them with at least 56 tackles a year ago. So for Coach Keith Kinder, coming into his 7th season, a great defensive core that he's got returning, and it all starts with those 4 in the middle.
Yeah, those linebackers will be attacking the line of scrimmage, going after the ball, bringing down opposing running backs. They will probably be a very violent group out there tonight.
And while we have a second before we get to our interview with Keith Kinder, we've got a number of sponsors we want to thank. We want to thank the United States Marine, the Few, the Proud, the Marines, the Ronald McDonald House, the Laborers International Union of North America, Beef O'Brady's, McDonald Physical Therapy, Troy Gill, Jamel Packaging, and the DeRoll family, Hoosier Spring Company, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, and Harris Sons Construction. And while we're talking about Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, we want to thank them right away.
With Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, our online banking and mobile app are like having a branch at your fingertips, with everything you need to manage your account 24/7. Enjoy better banking when and where you want it. Features include bill pay, money transfer, budgeting, early payday program, and much more. Head to NotreDameFCU.com to learn more and to get $200 when you add a direct deposit.
Our coverage of Marian High School sports on the Regional Radio Sports Network is presented by our friends at Harris & Sons Construction. For over a decade, Harris & Sons Construction have offered full-service remodeling and construction. Projects include kitchen, bathroom, and interior home remodeling. In addition, Harris & Sons Construction also offers roofing, siding, and interior or exterior painting. For more information on the services of Harris & Sons Construction, the phone number is 574-514-2104. Just before tonight's kickoff, we had a chance to sit down with the head coach of the Mishawaka Cavemen, Keith Kinder, in his 7th season, and get his thoughts about tonight's contest. Back here on Regional Radio Sports Network, the Marian Knights hosting the Mishawaka Cavemen in the season opener for the 2024 season. Joined pregame by the head coach of the Mishawaka Cavemen in season number 7 for him, Keith Kinder. And Keith, let's go back to the scrimmage a week ago. What are some of the things you guys liked as a coaching staff coming out of it? But what are some of the things that you saw that you might not like this part of the season, but you guys will have plenty of time to improve upon?
Well, the biggest like was we are healthy, right? Like when you're going to scrimmage, the last thing you want to do is have something silly happen that can affect a couple games for a kid. So we're healthy. We're as healthy as we've been all summer. And one of the things I was really pleased with is just how efficient I thought we were on offense for the limited time that our starters were on the field. We're going to start three sophomores tonight, and those guys are the 3 guys that are going to touch the ball the most: center, quarterback, and fullback. So getting those guys the opportunity to just get a little bit of experience with game speed, I thought was a big positive for us. And to be honest with you, there were no dislikes. The best part about a scrimmage is you're going to find things on film that can be corrected, technique, little alignment here and there, first step, that kind of stuff. But our kids play hard, they play physically, and I expect that to be the same tonight.
Let's talk about one of those sophomores. You got Jackson Snyder, who's going to be, or Landon Snyder, correction, that's going to be your starting quarterback today. What does he have to do to calm the nerves, but more importantly, give you guys a chance to win in tonight's ballgame?
Well, I think, he seems to be pretty unflappable as a young kid. He turned 16 yesterday, so it's not like we're starting a 15-year-old sophomore, which we've done before. And the other thing to remember is his brother Donovan started every game from a sophomore through senior year. His brother Jackson, who's a senior this year, has started every game from his sophomore year on. His oldest brother Patton was a soccer player, kicker for us for 4 years. So it's not like we're throwing a kid into something that he's never been around or never seen. He's been around Mishawaka football and our offense for a long time. The biggest thing for him is going to be to be patient. He wants the ball. He's aggressive, and to make sure that he makes good decisions and doesn't try to do too much, because he's that kind of kid.
When he's not going to have the ball, you run a very unique flex bone offense. You've got 3 guys that can really run the ball all over the place. But what makes that particular offense just so dangerous? Because not a lot of teams up here, at least, see that kind of offense, and you guys seem to run it to perfection.
Well, I don't know if we've run it to perfection, but I think the challenge is like you said, nobody sees it, and it's hard to duplicate. If you're a spread offensive team, you're going to play us, and now you've got 4 days with a scout team to try to prepare your defense, and it's hard to simulate the speed of it. No different than we struggle against spread teams because our offense can't duplicate that, because it's not what we're used to doing. So it has its advantages and disadvantages. But like you said, we've got some good stuff, I think. One of the things to help our quarterback that we decided in the summer was we were going to get more automatic runs for other people, so that if the quarterback, if the moment was a little bit challenging or we needed to just give him a mental break, we got some new stuff that people haven't seen that are going to get the balls to other people and not have the quarterback have to make a decision.
Switching sides now, let's talk about your defense. Probably one of the most vaunted front 7 in at least the northern half of the state. What makes them so difficult to compete against? If you're an offensive team coming in and you see the lineup of the front seven that you guys can put out there? Just what makes them so challenging to play against?
Well, to be honest with you, I feel a lot better about our middle seven than I do our front seven. I think we've still got some question marks up in our front three. We've got one that we know can play because he's got experience there. We're going to start 2 new guys this year on the defensive line, but they're tough, competitive, physical kids. But really, it's experience. Brady Newsome, who's our free safety, this will be his 20-something game started. Jackson Snyder, the same thing. Xavier Juarez, Camden Putz, those guys started every game last year. Drew Ginter got a lot of experience playing last year as a sophomore. So we got a lot of guys that have a lot of game experience. And like I mentioned before, they play hard and they play physically.
All right, I'll get you out of here on this opening night, playing a crosstown rival, if you will, not in the same conference anymore. But what do you guys have to do to score more points than Marian and come out of here with a victory tonight?
I think the biggest thing is every possession ends with a kick. We can't turn the ball over. We can't give up short fields, and we got to eliminate the big plays. In the scrimmage, they had big play after big play after big play. That'll get us beat. We got to make them go the length of the field, and hopefully our athleticism and our speed and our physicality will wear down them in the fourth quarter.
Keith, thanks for dealing with us tonight.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
The 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are La Una.
Tonight's game is being sponsored by the McDonald's Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center, located at 1005 North Hickory Road in South Bend. For over 3 decades, McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center has been helping Michiana get stronger every day. Their phone number, 574-233-5754, and you can visit them on the web at www.mcdonaldpt.com. Still in the pregame here at Otulski Field, and before we kick off the 2024 season, we sit down with the head coach of the Marian Knights in his 7th season, Mike Davidson. Talk about the scrimmage against Wawasee and what's it going to take to knock off the Cavemen here in the season opener. Back here on the Regional Radio Sports Network, the Marian Knights, their home opener, season opener for the 2024 season. They welcome the Mishawaka Cavemen in a non-conference showdown here at Otulski Field. Glad to be joined pregame by the head coach of the Marian Knights, Mike Davidson, 7th year. Does it seem like you've been here that long?
Some days, yes, but at the same time, that just means I'm that much older, and I guess in some cases wiser. But we'll see tonight.
Let's start with the scrimmage last week against Wawasee. What were some of the things you and your coaching staff liked, and some of the things you really weren't happy with, but you do have a lot of time to improve upon?
Yeah, I thought we came out and we played fast and we played physical. Both sides of the ball, I thought we played fast. Were there mistakes? Yes. Our execution needs to improve in every aspect, but for the most part, I thought we did a good job of playing fast, doing our job, and not letting, Wawasee's rebuilding, and we did not play down or let their level of play dictate us to let down.
A game like this, crosstown matchup, it's usually won in the trenches. What does your O-line have to do against their D-line to kind of keep the pressure off of Lucas Marr in the backfield?
Yeah, I mean, we got to protect in the passing game, but then at the same time find a way to get to their middle backers in the run game, because their defensive line is very disruptive. But then when it comes to the run game, that 26 and 9, I think it is. Those guys are headhunters and find the football. So we got to be able to get a hat-on-hat up front and not have to double team, which will allow us to then get up to the backers. If we can't do that, it could be a long night.
Let's talk about Lucas Marr for just a little bit, sophomore. How important is it to have that experience on the outside, all those weapons at wide receiver and in the backfield? You got a lot of guys that picked up a lot of yards last year, but how important is it for those guys that have the experience in a varsity game to be around your sophomore quarterback?
He's a junior this year. He's a junior this year, thank goodness. I hope I got that right on the roster for you. I talked to Lucas, and even when Mitch Fimble was still competing, and Mitch is ready to go. Like it was not an easy decision to figure out who we wanted to go with, but Lucas gives us a little bit more, and he's just got to be a distributor. We had a similar situation in 21. Bryce Lassane was a sophomore, and I think we had more explosive weapons then. We had about 5 or 6 of them. These guys we got are good now, and Lucas just has to do a good job of getting the football and not forcing it, taking care of it, and letting those guys do all the heavy lifting.
One of those guys that did the heavy lifting last year, Brian Osmond, 1,000 all-purpose yards a season ago. How important is it to implement the run game in a game like this and take more pressure off of your junior quarterback, Lucas Marr?
Brian must have paid you about that 1,000 all-purpose, because I think he was like 9 yards short. I think he was like 991 rushing, and he let me know about it quite a bit in the offseason. So, no, Brian's a tough. I mean, he's 5'4", I think he might be listed as, and that's probably generous, but. Tough, hard-nosed, great vision, and a real asset to have as far as whether you're a junior quarterback, sophomore quarterback, freshman, senior, whatever, and you can hand it off to somebody like him. It's a lot easier. It makes your life a lot easier. So we're going to rely a lot on Brian, but at the same time, we know this defense is predicated on taking away the run, taking away the inside, and we're going to have to make some plays on the outside.
Let's flip over to the defensive side for a second. Joseph Boone, your leading tackler, returns. What kind of impact can he make on a game like this, in a game where he can basically make a name for himself if he hasn't already, not just in the Northern Indiana Conference, but in the northern half of the state?
Yeah, no, Joe is the leader of our defense. That is without question. He was voted. We had our senior captains voted on last night, and he's one of our 4. And he has got a nose to the football. Are there times where guard gets in his way or tackle or whatever? Yes. He does a great job of just getting to the ball, though, and that's what we're going to need out of him tonight.
All right, we'll get you out of here on this. You look across the field, you see the Mishawaka Cavemen. It's an out-of-conference game. It's still a city rivalry game, no matter how you want to look at it. What do you guys have to do, offense, defense, special teams, to come out of here with a win?
Offensively and special teams-wise, take care of the football. We can't make any stupid errors on our end. They're way too good of a football team. They'll take advantage of it. Offensively, we've got to move the football. We do need to. We're not going to hit explosive play after explosive play, but we got to hit a few explosive plays each half. Make their safeties and corners think twice about jumping some of the shorter stuff on the RPOs. And then defensively, we got to get off the field. If it's 2nd and 5, it's got to become 3rd and 5, and 3rd and 5 can't become 4th and 1 because they'll go for it. So we've got to find a way to get off the field, whether that's a 3 and out, a 4 and out, a punt, a turnover. We've got to find a way to get off the field defensively and allow our offense to get an extra possession or 2.
All right, Mike A., best of luck tonight.
Hey, thank you.
We'll be back with more right here on Regional Radio Sports Network.
Did you know there's a place right here in Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
Since its founding in 1954, the Hoosier Spring Company has developed into one of the world's leading manufacturers of custom springs for the aerospace, military, and commercial sectors. 3 generations of the Sooth, Lentic, and Nitz families have demonstrated their commitment to Catholic education by providing tuition assistance to numerous students attending area Catholic schools and by providing financial assistance to numerous other Catholic school initiatives. Go Knights!
To go before or after the game. Locally owned and operated for more than a decade. They are a family-oriented business featuring a private party room with seating for up to 60 people, along with an outside patio area that can seat up to 20 guests. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road, Beefs has daily specials Monday through Friday and offers dine-in and carry-out service. They are also the spot to watch all of your sporting events. For more information, the website is www.beefobradys.com or call 574-271-1415.
Taking a look at other matchups around the NIC. Everyone in non-conference action tonight. The Elkhart Lions travel across to Dunlop to take on the Concord Minutemen. The Washington Panthers welcome Hammond Central to Everwise School Field. Bishop Knoll heads to Jackson Field to take on the Riley Wildcats. LaPorte and New Prairie, the annual Battle of LaPorte County, will take place at New Prairie. You've got your Mishawaka and Marian game here at 7 p.m. Adams in the Battle of the Eagles. They'll make the trip down US 31 to take on Andy Durrell and the Culver Academy Eagles. We will be at Oliver Field next week when these Marian Knights are at Culver Academy. St. Joseph, their first football game as the Huskies. They'll travel into LaGrange County to take on the Lakeland Lakers, and Valparaiso will be at Penn. Our boy Tanner Camp on the call at Freed Field. In the NLC, that's the home conference of the Mishawaka Cavemen, the Fairfield Falcons travel to Goshen to take on the Redhawks. Fort Wayne Northside goes to Middlebury to take on the Northridge Raiders. The Michigan City Wolves travel to Bart Curtis Country to take on the Warsaw Tigers. The Northwood Panthers head over to Boggo Country as they hope to take down the Jimtown Jimmies. Twin Lakes, they travel to the Rock Pile to take on Plymouth. And Wawasee is at Tippecanoe Valley. As we are waiting the arrival of the Marian Knights, they'll be decked out in the white jerseys with the blue numbers, silver and white trim, blue pants with the white stripes on the side, as the Mishawaka Cavemen are directly diagonal to our broadcast location. They will be in the visiting maroon, all maroon from head to toe with white numbers on the front and the back. While we're waiting the arrival for both teams, we got some top games around the state, and any location, north, south, central, there are some great games all up and down the state. And we'll start with one of the big ones down in Indianapolis. Indianapolis Cathedral and the Ben Davis Giants. Ben Davis coming off that remarkable season a year ago. Their only blemish came from a school called IMG Academy down in Florida. Not a bad way to start to have your only loss of the year.
Well, the Knights are taking the field, being led by the American flag and a few Knight flags. It really is a festive and exciting atmosphere here. As I was walking into the stadium, no one was here, just a few of us setting up the broadcast for tonight. But I did notice walking in that on the walkway in, they have the Marian helmets, and on each helmet is the player's number and name. It's really festive. We have a big crowd here tonight, lots of parents and family here to cheer on their kids, and a big we have a big crowd in the student section. It looks like they're throwing around some beach balls, and they're dressed in some beach gear. And we are about ready to get started. We got about 4 minutes and 40 seconds until kickoff.
Now, Mishawaka brought pretty much the entire town across the way from us, clad in the traditional maroon and white. We'll get you the starting lineups for both teams. We'll start with the offense from the visiting Mishawaka Cavemen. It'll be Cody Hagelin, 6'1", 210-pound tackle. Lucas DeWilkins, 5'10", 260-pound junior. It'll be Coley Rosenberg, the 5'9", 190-pound sophomore, getting the start in the middle. Trevor Wendt moves from center to guard, 5'11", 270 senior. And Tyler Most, 6'6", 280 senior. Hagelin, DeWilkins, Rosenberg, Wendt, and Most, the front five for Keith Kinder's offense. The wideouts, Colton Handley, number 5, 6'4", 170 and a junior. Josh Sandy, 6'2", 170 and a senior. The running backs, it's a three-headed monster in the backfield. Number 4, Caden Smith, 5'11", 175, and a senior. He is the returning leading rusher for the Cavemen. He'll also be joined back there by number 13, Gage Spichelski, 6'1", 185-pound senior, and Caden O'Neill, number 2, 5'6", 185-pound sophomore, but doing it all, he'll be the man at the controls. Number 10, Landon Snyder, saw action in a couple games a year ago, ran the ball 5 times for 27 yards in limited action. He's a 5'10", 160-pound sophomore, and as you heard from Keith Kinder, just turned 16 yesterday.
Not even old enough to drive, but yet he's going to drive this Mishawaka offense.
We begin in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God our Father, we gather here in your name to ask the Holy Spirit
To battle is to fight, to struggle, to overcome, and ultimately for the Marine Corps, it means to win. There is no alternative. It's not just a statement of intent. It's a promise to our nation. A promise kept for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Back with the starters for the Mishawaka Marian Knights. The starting front 4 will be Caleb Johnson, Caden Lee, Seth Kerzetter, and Abraham Lusanga. Johnson, 6'2", 223 senior. Caden Lee, 6'1", 273 junior. Kerzetter, 6'1", 207 junior. And Lusanga, 6'2", 182-pound senior. The linebacking trio, Nicholas Quiet, number 34, 5'11", 184-pound senior. Joseph Boone, the man we talked about in the pregame, 5'10", 216-pound senior. He had 101 tackles a season ago for Mike Davidson's defense. And Lucas Primrose, 5'8", 179-pound senior. So Quiet, Boone, and Primrose, the linebacking 3. Quinn Roan leads the secondary. He's one of the outstanding corners, 5'11", 160-pound senior, along with Cooper Sooth, 5'7", 141-pound senior. Braden Smith, 6'1", 200-pound senior. He also likes to jump in and play a little linebacker every now and then. And Mason Zemanowski, the 6'2", 145-pound senior. So the secondary of Roan and Sooth at the corners, and Smith and Zemanowski as the safeties, as the coin toss to take place, as the captains are at midfield shaking hands. And as soon as the coin toss is over, we'll get you the starting lineup for the Marian offense, as the referee barks out instructions here on an absolutely gorgeous day here in Mishawaka. A game time temperature of 64 degrees, and the wind is not a factor at the moment, as Old Glory is pretty much at a standstill in the west end zone.
It will still be important for these players to keep hydrated, though, when they come off the field, to get plenty of fluids. This is going to be a long game. We got 4 quarters of football, and as the sun goes down, it'll get a little cooler.
So Mishawaka wins the toss. They will defer to the second half. They're going to kick it away. And Coach Mike Davidson's crew already getting rowdy and getting in front of us. And the starting front 5 for the Marian Knights, it's a good starting 5. Prescott Horvath, 6'8", 297 junior tackle. Mark Warbington, a 5'10", 254-pound senior guard. John Dubash, 5'10", 231-pound junior guard. And Doran Brooks, 6'1", 236 junior on the right tackle. And the man in the middle, he is an IFD All-State member in Class 3A, number 71, Giovanni Garcia de la Torre, 6'3", 273-pound senior.
And he is also one of the captains for Marian tonight.
The 3 wideouts we'll be keeping our eye on is Deuce Owens, 6'1", 200-pound senior, Jack DeRoll, 6'1", 168-pound senior, and Braxton Brooks, 5'10", 189-pound senior. The running backs, Aiden Hansen, 5'10", 177 senior, Brian Osmond, Keep your eye on him. He is little, but he can motor. 5'5", 150-pound senior. He plays like he's 6'3", 225. And the quarterback at the control for Mike Davidson's group, Lucas Marr, 5'10", 178-pound junior. And it'll be Braxton Brooks. He'll stand at about his 1 yard line as the Cavemen look to start the season. We got 12 minutes on the clock. And we are
Here we go.
Underway with the 2024 season. The ball will be taken by one of the upmen in about the 17.
Running to
Gets
the left.
a block around the corner.
He's going to get upfield.
And he's going to be knocked out of bounds. That'll be Quinn Ron. He'll be knocked out of bounds, and the Marian Knights will take over.
The tackle was by number 14 of Mishawaka. That's Walker Hahn.
So the Knights will take over. It'll be 1st and 10. They'll spot it at the 29-yard line after a 12-yard return by Quinn Ron. So Lucas Marr, the 5'10", 178-pound junior, will be at the controls as the officials trying to get out of each other's way. It's all right. It's first game for everybody.
That's right.
So Garcia de la Torre will bring his troops to the line. Lucas Marr in the shotgun formation. He's got a wide receiver on each side. He's got a man in motion. Hansen going from left to the right.
Got a
and
pitch
the pitch
right.
is going to go right to Brooks.
Oh,
Brooks
going to
make one
nice
man
gain.
hit, and he'll be down after about a carry of about 6 yards.
Nice work, Marian. Coach will be happy with that play.
So they'll spot the ball at the 35-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 4 from the Knights' 35-yard line as Marr checks the wristband.
It looks like no huddle. Plays being called at the line. Same formation. Well, we got twins, right?
Marr out of the shotgun.
Oh.
Going to put it right into the gut of Osman.
It's going to bring up a 3rd down. 3rd and short.
Correction, that was
Brought down by Ken Clemente.
well, it's going to be a gain of maybe a half a yard. No, they're going to give him 1. So it's going to be 3rd and 4 now for the Knights from about the 36-yard line.
Shotgun again.
Marr sends a
Motion
man
to
to the
right.
outside. He's going to find Osmond.
Oh,
A diving
he falls
catch,
down.
but he's going to be a couple yards short of the first down. And just like Coach Kinder drew it up defensively, they'll go 3 and out, do the Marian Knights, and they will punt the ball to Mishawaka.
But you know, the positive about that drive, I know it's ending with a punt. They at least got positive yardage on every play, even if it's a half yard, 6, 2 or 3.
So Szymanski will be on to punt the ball away, and he gets a
Nice punt.
end-over-end punt. It will take a Marian bounce, and it'll go out of bounds just at the 30-yard line. That's where the Cavemen will take over on their first drive. It'll be 1st and 10 Cavemen at their own 30-yard line.
Here come the Marian defense.
So that Marian defense led by Joseph Boone, number 0. He'll be in the linebacking core as Landon Snyder brings the rarely seen flexbone offense to the line.
It's a flag on the play. Personal foul.
Personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Mishawaka. So that'll march the Cavemen back in the wrong direction if you're a Cavemen fan. So the ball will be spotted
About the 14
all the way
yard
back
line.
at about the. I got to give him the 15.
15 yard
So,
line.
so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15. Landon Snyder directing traffic. He'll come under center. Sends a man out wide, and the
Dive up
first
the middle.
give of the game. We saw this a lot in warm-ups, Mike, and it goes right into the hands of Caden O'Neill, goes up the middle.
Yeah, just a simple play, a simple dive play to the left of the center, and they got 5 yards.
So 5-yard pickup for the sophomore O'Neill. Makes it a manageable 2nd and 5.
Mishawaka goes no huddle offense. Notice how their offensive linemen are in a 4-point stance.
And Snyder's going to keep it
Oh.
himself, makes his first two
Oh.
guys miss, breaks into the secondary, and he's going to be tackled.
Yep. It was a fake dive right. Quarterback kept the ball.
And we've got a lot of extracurricular activities after the tackle as Cooper Sooth wrestled Snyder to the grass, but not before a pickup of 18 on the play.
It's a first down.
Tackle number 25, Cooper Suck.
Mishawaka's looking to the sideline for their next play.
First down.
So Suth on the tackle. And Mishawaka's got a fresh set of downs. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 38.
Mishawaka in their flex bone.
Snyder sends a man in motion. The handoff's to the first man, O'Neill.
Dive
Takes
left.
a couple of tackles with him, and he'll get to about the 41, 42-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4 for the sophomore. And Snyder, other than that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the kickoff, on the punt rather, has managed this offense extremely well here in his first career start. Snyder again quickly under center. Instead, it's going to be the pitch to Spychalski. Gets around the corner, and he'll get to him out the 45, maybe the 46, before he is tackled
By number
on
13.
the far side.
By number 13, Mason Zimanowski. 6'2", 145-pound senior safety.
So it's going to be a 3rd and 3 now. Ball rests on the Cavemen 45-yard line.
Well, this is what Mishawaka likes to do. 3rd and short. Long drives down the field to eat up a lot of clock.
And lots of movement before
False
the
start,
snap.
Mishawaka.
And that'll back up the Cavemen 5 yards. So the second penalty on the Cavemen. First was that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the punt. And now you turn your 3rd and 3 into a 3rd and 8. And if you're Mike Davidson, you've got to love that penalty.
It makes it much more difficult for Mishawaka to pick up the first down. But remember, they also like to use 4 downs.
We heard from Mike Davidson that anything remotely close to the first down marker, you might want to anticipate that Cavemen are going to go for it. And Snyder
good
calls
job,
his own
defense.
number, but the defense jumps in. And the first man to meet him is 53, Caden Lee. As Snyder called his own number and only got a couple yards. And Keith Kinder not going to take any chances with this one. 4th and 6, we're going to punt the ball away. So the Cavemen going to punt it away as Blake Vandenberg. He will punt the ball away.
Braxton
And
Books is back for the Marian Knights at about his 25-yard line. Here's the punt.
Snap to Vandenberg. Ty brings it down and gets off a good
Get
kick.
away from the ball.
And it'll be out of bounds at around the 19-yard line, and that's where the Marian Knights will take over. Tonight's game is being sponsored by McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center, located at 1005 North Hickory Road in South Bend. For over 3 decades, McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center has been helping Michiana get stronger every day. You can call them at 574-233-5754 or see them online at mcdonaldpt.com. Second drive of the first quarter for the Knights. The first one went 3 and out. And they're hoping for better success this time as, once again, Lucas Marr will bring his offense to the line of scrimmage as Coach Mike Davidson talking to the officials at the moment.
Looks like Marian has a new formation. We have trips left. Shotgun.
Got one wide receiver to the right, so an empty backfield for Lucas Marr. We have not seen this formation as a man in motion.
Oh.
And a low snap, and Marr quickly jumps on it to avoid any further damage.
All right, well, that's going to happen when you snap the ball to the shotgun snap. That happens from time to time.
That's an 11-yard loss, and that'll bring the Knights all the way back to the 7-yard line. So Marr, once again, shotgun formation, same trips down to the left. Marr rolling out, gets a key block. He's in the end zone. He's going to scamper out. He's going to throw it over the head of Brooks.
Okay.
So
it's a nice roll out to the left. It's difficult for a right-handed quarterback to roll left and throw, but he actually did pretty well.
If Brooks was, say, 6'5", he comes down with that. I'll guarantee that.
They want to keep it out of the Mishawaka players' hands, too.
So it'll be 3rd and 21.
Oh, boy.
They don't have a whole lot of plays in the playbook for this one, so it'll be interesting to see what Mike Davidson elects to do with this particular play call.
Mishawaka's coming with a blitz.
Shotgun formation as Marr rolls out. He's going to fire it, and it goes through the hands of Deuce Owens and falls to the turf. And once again, Knights go 3 and out.
That play had potential. You had a wide open receiver out there in the number 1 on the left-hand side. Nice rollout to the left. Marian's done that a few times tonight. Already, they must have.
So Zymanowski will be about 8 yards deep in his end zone, and he is going to punt this one away. It's Brady Newsom back at about the Marian 47. And they get the playoff just in time, and the block was avoided, but a nice Marian bounce. And that'll put the ball at about the 42-yard line. So a 35-yard punt for Zymanowski, and that's where the Cavemen will take over. So scoreless here, just about 5 minutes in to the contest.
Notre Dame Federal Credit Union is a proud partner with Marian High School. As a supporter of the Knights, you are eligible for a Notre Dame FCU membership. Open an account and request an Elevate debit or credit card, directing 1% of all purchases right back to Marian High School. Head to NotreDameFCU.com/elevate to support Catholic education and help offset the cost of a student's tuition.
A handoff to Caden O'Neill, who tried to bounce it to the outside. He'll get a couple hard-earned yards. The ball will be placed at about the 40-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Cavemen as the clock heads towards the midway point here in the first quarter. Scoreless here at Mishawaka Marian. Man in motion for Snyder. Hands it off on the
nice
end
play
around.
by 22.
And a flag comes in well after the tackle. Smith was wrapped up by Primrose. It would be a gain of 1, but it looks like it's going to be a holding penalty on the Cavemen. And Mike Davidson will, in fact, take that penalty. So a march off of 10 yards. That'll put the ball back at the 49-yard line of Marian.
Lucas Primrose on that last tackle. That was a nice play.
So it'll be second and about 17 for the Cavemen to work with. As Snyder again back under center. He's got Caden O'Neill in the backfield, man in motion. He's going to fake the handoff to O'Neill.
Left.
He's going to keep it. He's going to dive forward, and his progress is going to be stopped
by number 6, Braden Smith. Nice tackle, Braden.
So Snyder not afraid to call his own number. And now, 3rd and 14.
I wonder if we'll see a pass here, JP. 3rd and 14. And welcome to the jungle playing in the background for the defense. Here we go.
Again, flexbone formation. Snyder sends a man in the backfield.
Here's
He's going to stand back to pass. And pass is complete, and it'll be enough for the first down. Snyder with the 3-step drop.
Vandenberg's pass complete to Jackson Snyder.
Yeah.
And Jackson Snyder with the reception.
It was just a quick 1 or 2-step drop. Quarterback put the ball in the air to the receiver. Nice catch. Good execution.
So a
First
gain
down.
of 14. Just enough for the Cavemen first down, and a fresh set of downs for Landon Snyder to work with. Snyder sends a man in motion. He's going to hand it off to Caden O'Neill. O'Neill makes one man miss, but he will not make a second man miss, and he'll have a pickup of about 5 or 6.
4.5 minutes to go in the quarter. Still scoreless here at Otulski Field. No huddles.
So
Both
Braden
sidelines
Smith-
send in plays both sidelines send in plays without a huddle.
Braden Smith on the tackle on that last play, and the handoff is fake and going right up the middle was
Tackle by Braden
Vandenberg.
Smith, number 6.
So they're actually moving Vandenberg and Landon Snyder in and out of the quarterback position, almost like a wildcat formation. You've also got Caden Smith in there, who can also play a little quarterback. So
Quarterback is 10, not 20. Snyder. Thanks.
So Snyder going to give the handoff to Vandenberg. He makes one man miss, second man miss, and he will walk into the end zone. And the Cavemen are on the board. It's 6-0, extra point pending. Spychalski made the first couple guys miss and was able to just walk in. And the Cavemen are on the board, 6-0, and now Vandenberg will come out to attempt the extra point.
It's just an in around to the left-hand side. Marian actually played it pretty well. They just have to finish the execution and make the tackle. Defense read the play correctly. Now we just got to bring down number 13.
So Vandenberg with the kick. Isaiah Butte with the hold. The kick is up, and it is good. And it'll be 7-0 in favor of the Cavemen. 3:42 remaining in the first quarter. First score of the season goes to the Cavemen. They lead at 7-0 as you're watching Knights football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world. But there is another path where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling, united by purpose, defined by the cause you fight for. No one can take away what it means to be among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
Back live here at Mishawaka Marian High School. The Knights trailing the Cavemen 7-0 on a 25-yard touchdown run by Gage Spychalski. The extra point by Vandenberg is good.
Braxton Books is back to receive for Marian, standing at the goal line. Mishawaka sets to kick off.
So Vandenberg has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. And as Mike said, Braxton Brooks, setting up to return. Remember, the last kick that Vandenberg had was taken by one of the up men. And the second kick of the day, this time, again taken by one of the up men. This time, it is...
There he goes.
Taken up to the 38-yard line. And again, Quinn Ron on the return. Tackled by a plethora of maroon and white Mishawaka Cavemen, and it'll be first down for the Mishawaka Marian Knights, who find themselves trailing 7-0. And Lucas Marr going to bring the Knights to the line for the third drive of the game. The last two for the Knights have gone 3 and out.
We have twins left. Shotgun.
Marr's got Osmond to his right hip. He's got a man in motion. That's Brooks. He'll hand it off to the diminutive Osmond. Osmond dancing around a couple of linebackers, and he will be down at around the 46, 47-yard line.
8-yard gain.
46. Clemente, the tackle for the Cavemen, out of his linebacker position. So gain of 8 for the young man that picked up over 920 yards on the ground a year ago. 3 minutes even remaining here in the first quarter. Knights trying to get on the board as here's a short pass to DeRoll. He'll get the first down and get knocked out of bounds.
Excellent pass blocking by the offensive line of the Knights that time. Gave Lucas enough time to get that ball to his receiver.
And that first down brought to you by Troy Gill with Health Markets Insurance Agency. Call Troy with your life, health, and Medicare needs. 574-360-0791. That's 574-360-0791. So the first down of the season comes on a pass to DeRoll. And now the Knights have a little momentum going, but Mike Davidson doesn't see what he likes in the formation. He'll call a timeout. We will stay with him as we want to thank our friends at Beef O'Brady's.
Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features Philly Thursdays. Enjoy a Philly cheesesteak sandwich with fries for just $10.99. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road, Beef's is open for lunch at 11 a.m., 7 days a week. For more information, the website is www.beefobradys.com.
Our coverage of Marian High School sports, that includes the boys and girls soccer team and the volleyball teams as well, on the Regional Radio Sports Network, presented by our friends at Harris & Sons Construction. For over a decade, Harris & Sons Construction have offered full-service remodeling and construction. Projects include kitchen, bathroom, and interior home remodeling. In addition, Harris & Sons Construction also offers roofing, siding, and interior-exterior painting. For more information on the services of Harris & Sons Construction, the phone number is 574-514-2104. So 1st and 10. So 2:50 to go here in the first quarter. The ball will be placed at the 47. First and 10. High snap. And it's still loose, and it'll be recovered by the Knights.
Fumble on the play, recovered by
Or by the Cavemen, rather.
By the Cavemen.
And Xavier Juarez up from his linebacker position.
Well, the Knights had a little momentum there. They had something good going.
So a bad snap. That's the second time we've seen that in the contest. The first time resulted in a loss of 11. This time it's a result. The result is a loss of possession. And with 2:46 remaining in the first quarter, the Cavemen have their best field position of the night. The ball will be at the 39-yard line. So Landon Snyder behind that big offensive line. He's going to get the play call from Coach Keith Kinder. And tons of movement and laundry everywhere. It's laundry night here at Mishawaka Marian High School. And that is going to be the fourth penalty on the Cavemen. We've seen 2 false starts, a hold, and an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. If Mike Davidson can take some solace in this first quarter, it's that his team has not committed a penalty yet. Snyder again, man in motion. The pitch is to Spychalski around the left side. He's going to dart past one, can't get past the second man. He'll stay inbounds as the pickup is Simonowski with the pickup, with the tackle.
The tackle.
Spychalski gets back to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Cavemen. So the time continuing to tick down. 10 on the play clock for the Knights to work with. Snyder can't instead call his own number. Runs into his own man, and he's finally brought down by
number 6, Braden Smith.
We said earlier that Smith likes to jump up in the play, become almost like a fourth linebacker, and he did just that. So Snyder picks up 3. It'll be 3rd and 7 now from the 36. And Mike, we talked about this. It's in this kind of situation where we saw the pass the last time. But if they run, you'd almost think this is 4-down territory.
This is
the way they've been moving.
4-down territory. Yeah, I anticipate a running play here.
And whistles blowing everywhere.
It's going to be option right.
And it's going to be a delay of game. Another penalty. That's the 5th on the Cavemen.
Well, it's the first game of the season. Both teams are making some mistakes. We have Marian with a few awry snaps, and then we have Mishawaka committing several penalties. Their 5th one of the night. First season game. First game of the season.
So that'll back up the Cavemen 5 yards to the 36 as we're at 1 minute remaining in the first quarter. Snyder. Man in motion. Instead going to give it to Spychalski, and he'll get a couple.
Tackled by number 10, Joseph Boone.
Caleb Johnson on the stop.
Or maybe it was Caleb Johnson, number 99.
In any event, that's going to force the Cavemen to punt. So Vandenberg standing back at about his own 48-yard line. The Knights deciding they're not going to put anybody beyond the 25-yard line.
The Knights are playing defense.
And here's the punt by Vandenberg, and it's a good one.
Let's see it
and
roll.
It's perfectly downed.
5-yard
Great
line.
play by the Gunners of Mishawaka, and they've pinned the Knights at the 5-yard line. So with 12.1 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter.
It'll be interesting to see if the Knights decide to go shotgun here so close to their end zone. Especially the way a few of the snaps been tonight.
So a 33-yard punt by Vandenberg. The junior perfectly placed that punt. Colton Hanley was the man that downed it. So 12.1 to go here in the opening frame. Mishawaka's defense has been as advertised.
They're going shotgun.
Empty backfield for Marr.
There you go.
And he's instead going to pitch it
there you go.
to Osmond. And Osmond will race across the 10 to about the 14-yard line. And that will do it for the first quarter here in Mishawaka. The Knights, couple bad snaps have forced bad field position, but Mishawaka has taken advantage on a 25-yard touchdown run by Gage Spychalski. That's the difference so far in the match. The Cavemen lead it 7-0 after the first quarter as you're watching Knights football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Did you know there's a place right here in Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
J-Mill Packaging is celebrating 50 years in business as the area's premier box manufacturing company. The DeRoll family is committed to leading J-Mill Packaging as a world-class organization through innovative corrugated solutions and helping people win. Everybody matters. Let's go, Knight Nation.
Start of the second quarter, and the handoff around the end goes to Braxton Brooks, and he'll have plenty for the first down. And the Knights will have their second first down of the night. And that first down is brought to you by Troy Gill with Health Markets Insurance Agency. Call Troy with your life, health, and Medicare needs. 574-360-0791. That's 574-360-0791.
Both teams tonight have had success running to the outside.
So Marr in the shotgun, trips to the right. Osmond in the backfield. That's exactly who's going to get the ball. He goes right up the middle, but he is met hard by that defensive front led by Trey Dunning, Aiden Hernandez, and Isaiah Butte. But Juarez comes up from the linebacker spot. He'll make the tackle as Osmond was lucky enough to get back to the line of scrimmage. But they'll give him 2.
My gosh, I see a slant wide open. Number 17. Just run a slant. You have lots of green grass right there. Let's see if Marian does that.
So a fake pitch to Osmond, and Marr going to the left side, turns the corner, and heads up to all the chain gang over there.
Well, that's why I'm not in coaching anymore.
And
good call, Knights.
He is going to be just short of the first down. It'll be a pickup of 7.
3rd and 1.
So all kinds of options now for Mike Davidson and his crew. Mar was going to pitch it to Osmond. Instead, calls his own number and gets a nice, healthy gain. And Mike Davidson, not liking what he sees, is going to take a timeout.
Beef O'Brady's in Granger, now featuring Philly Thursdays. Enjoy a Philly's cheesesteak sandwich with fries for just $10.99. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road. Beef's is open for lunch at 11 a.m., 7 days a week. For more information, the website is www.beefobradys.com. Beef O'Brady's, good food, good sports.
And tonight's game is being sponsored by McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center, located at 1005 North Hickory Road in South Bend. For over 3 decades, McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center has been helping Michiana get stronger every day. Phone number is 574-233-5754, or you can meet them on the web at mcdonaldpt.com. So 1 timeout left for Mike Davidson and the Marian Knights. It'll be 3rd and 1 from their own 31-yard line after the 7-yard pickup by Brian Osmond. Lone wide receiver down here, Jack DeRoll. Single wide receiver up at the top, Deuce Owens. Mar in the shotgun is going to pitch it
There it is.
to Osmond, and he gets undercut. Correction, that's Brooks who got undercut.
4th down.
And that's about as close to the spot as you want to get.
What will Mike Davidson do here? He's asking for a measurement.
He's asking for a measurement, and they're going to give it to him as the officials are going to talk it over. And the
coach is thinking he has a first down.
Brooks and DeRoll think they've got the first down, too. From our angle, they look like they got the first down. And they're going to bring the chain gang over from the north side of the field. And they are not in any any hurry to make that jog over.
It's a warm evening.
He's either got it by a half inch or he's short by a half inch. Let's see what the final measurement is. And, oh, yeah, he's got it.
It's a first down.
It'll be a first down for the Knights.
Good job, Coach Davidson.
So, smart play by the Knights, as that first down is brought to you by Troy Gill with Health Markets Insurance Agency. Call Troy with your life, health, and Medicare needs, 574-360-0791. That's 574-360-0791. Third first down of the game for the Knights. And they desperately needed that, as they'll have a fresh set of downs at about the 32-yard line. Trips to the right. Osmond in the backfield with Marr. He'll take the snap. Two-step drop. Avoids one tackle. Gets it out to Brooks here on the right side. And he's finally brought down. Good tackle by Brady Newsom coming out of the secondary.
That was some nifty maneuvering by Lucas Marr, avoiding a sack and then being able to step up to throw that pass to be completed.
The one thing we've noticed in the first 15 minutes of this contest is Lucas Marr will move out of the pocket if need be, but he stood tough and got a nice little pass off to Brooks. So 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard reception. Marr sends Hansen in motion. He'll take the snap. Quick pitch, nearly brought down in the backfield was Osmond, and he's close to yet another Marian Knight first down.
Brian Osmond on the carry.
First down.
And he's got it. It'll be a first down, and that first down and all first downs this season will be brought to you by Troy Gill with Health Markets Insurance Agency. Call Troy with your life, health, and Medicare needs, 574-360-0791.
As earlier in this game, Marian has reclaimed some momentum, driving down the field.
They have yet to cross into caveman territory. Brooks in motion. Marr calls his own number, makes one man miss, and he'll be met at about the 45. Forward progress will be stopped at about the 47.
Gain of 5 yards.
As
Is he slow to get up? Is that
Marr will be slow to get up.
here comes
And that will bring in,
Mitch Fimble.
I cannot believe I'm saying this young man's name. Mitch Fimble is going to come in. The reason why I say that, he's a member of the Riley Marian hockey team that I happen to be on the coaching staff for the last 4 seasons. So Mitchie is back in the shotgun formation. He'll hand it off. No, he's going to keep his own number. Crosses in the
first down.
50. He'll be at about the 48. And the Knights have a first down.
Good job, Mitchie Fimble. That was a tough run.
That first down brought to you by Troy Gill with Health Markets Insurance Agency. Call Troy with all your life, health, and Medicare needs. 574-360-0791. 574-360-0791.
Here's a pass.
It's Fimble going to let it fly, and he overthrew everybody. Little too antsy. Fimble, the 5'11", 168 junior.
But does he play on the hockey team?
Oh, yes, he does. He'll be a forward this year for the Marian Riley hockey team. Got some scores coming in. Cathedral up on Ben Davis 3-zip. Lafayette Jeff 10-zip on Avon. Elkhart leading Concord 6-3. Northwood, the Panthers leading Jimtown 7-zip. Leo leads Lures 7-zip down in the Summit City.
First quarter, Northwood 7, Jimtown 0.
So Fimble in the shotgun formation as Marr's getting looked at on the sidelines.
There he
Hands
goes.
off to Osmond over the 40 down to the 38. And they're going to say the ground caused the fumble. But a first down for the Knights.
This Marian Knight first down is brought to you by J-Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family.
Gain of 11 and the Marian Knights first down.
So another first down, and the Knights are rolling.
Usually it's Mishawaka that likes to take possession of the game. So far, I think Marian may have more time of possession. They're holding on to the ball for a long time.
So Fimble still in a quarterback, trips to the right, Osmond in the backfield. And he's going to
Excellent
snap
pass
a
protection.
pass to DeRoll, and DeRoll breaks one tackle. He'll be down inside the 30, and a flag at the end of the play.
A late flag.
There are flags on the play. Isaiah Butte on the tackle.
So Isaiah Butte on the tackle, but wait to see what the penalty call is going to be. And if it's against Mishawaka, I think Keith Kinder is going to be beside himself.
It was a nice catch and run by Jake DeRoll. I hope the officials are signaling to the Mishawaka coaches that this may be against Marian.
And we're waiting the call, but they're starting to march backwards.
They're not moving the ball.
Not sure what.
No penalty?
Be a hold on Marian. And then after the play, personal foul on Mishawaka.
On Marian,
That's 2 personal fouls against Mishawaka.
Mishawaka, they'll offset, we'll play that down over again.
So it'll be like that down never occurred. It'll remain first and 10 at the 37. 6:13 remaining in the first quarter. Shotgun snap to Fimble. Hands off to Osmond.
Nice run.
Goes right up the middle.
Touchdown,
and he
touchdown!
has green grass in front of him. And he can run all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Osman.
Beautiful play.
We told you in the pregame that Osman's an explosive little runner, and he made one man miss. It had pay dirt in front of him, and it's a 37-yard jaunt. And with the extra point pending, this game will be tied. Thimble will stay in to hold. Primrose in for the extra point. Snap down. Thimble with the hold. Kick is up.
And good.
So Primrose didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it to get it over. And that touchdown is brought to you by Troy Gill with Health Markets Insurance Agency. You can call Troy with your life, health, and Medicare needs. 574-360-0791. Marian's on the board for the first time this year. Brian Osman, 37-yard touchdown run. 7-7. Knights and Cavemen here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
The call. Together, we fought for our nation and its people. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will continue to support my country and my community. Then and now, Semper Fidelis remains my promise. Always faithful, always Marine.
So when Brian Osman, 37-yard touchdown run, has knotted this one up, 7 apiece. And Lucas Primrose is going to kick this one away, but he needs the tee.
Well, he needs a football, too.
And a football. Yeah, there we go. What have we said all day long? First game for everybody.
First game for everybody. My first game, too.
And are you enjoying it?
I am.
Well, this will be the first of 6. We'll have 5 Marian home games this year, and we're going to take our little show on the road next week as we head down to Culver, Indiana, as we head to the Academy. It'll be the Eagles and Knights. 7:30 kickoff, 7 o'clock pregame show on RRSN. So Primrose to kick it off. And Newsom loses handle of the ball.
Ball's on the ground.
And it's going to be Marian football.
Recovered by number 3.
Braxton Brooks on the recovery. And Marian back in business.
I think Marian was looking for the slippery ball to kick off. It worked.
Newsom had his eye on the ball the entire time. It just went right through his hands. And the Knights with a golden opportunity now, 1st and 10 at the Caveman 15.
Marian will start this drive 1st and 10 at the Caveman 15-yard line.
So Marr back in at quarterback after Mitchie Fimble led a fantastic scoring drive for the Knights. Shotgun for Marr. Fires it quickly to Deuce Owens.
Touchdown.
And he is going to score!
Number 1, Deuce Owens.
Marr, a 2-step drop, finds Owens in the flat, and Owens does the rest. And 2 touchdowns in 10 seconds have given the Knights a 13-7 lead, extra point pending. That touchdown brought to you by Troy Gill with Health Markets Insurance. Call Troy with your life, health, Medicare needs. 574-360-0791. 570-360-0791. So Primrose back on for his second extra point in 10 seconds. The snap, the hold, down, up.
Good.
And good. So Primrose better start icing his leg. He's kicked 3 times in 10 seconds. Knights now lead at 14-7 as you're watching Knights football right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Did you know there's a place right here in Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
One play, 15 yards.
So the scoring drive for the Marian Knights, one play, 15 yards, 10 seconds. Marr to Brooks on the 15-yard touchdown pass. And the Knights have their first lead of the season. I'm sure that's just the way Mike Davidson drew it up.
Lights are coming on here at Altulski Stadium. Marian's winning 14-7.
So Lucas Primrose with the ball teed up at the 40. And once again, Newsom is back to receive. Let's see if Primrose decides to target him again. And he's going to drill it. This time he's going to back up Newsom into the end zone. And it'll be a touchback.
Newsom's kick is into the end zone.
How many yards did that ball go in the air? 60?
That ball went a good 62 yards in the air. And the Cavemen will start. Been a while since we've seen the Cavemen on offense.
Told you, Mishawaka Marian offense has been out on the field a lot tonight. More so than Mishawaka Cavemen as of now.
So Landon Snyder will get back under center at the helm of the Flexbone offense. He'll pitch it, and picking off the corner, Caden Smith. He's to the 40, and he'll be knocked out of bounds. 20-yard plus pickup. Oh, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 39. Call it the 38.
Yeah, he was forced out of bounds by number 6, Braden Smith.
If I keep talking, they're going to keep backing him up. So first down for the Cavemen as the clock dips under 6 minutes to go. Was the snap on 1st and 10.
Nice play.
And he'll gain a tough 1 yard as the Marian defense, which has been resting up.
I think that tackle was made by number 53, Caden Lee. Defensive tackle.
So Snyder barking out instructions. Remember, they get the ball to start the second half. As Snyder going to keep it. Get drilled. Absolutely drilled.
Joseph Boone. Joseph Boone with a boom.
There's a reason why he's getting looked at and hits like that after a 2-yard carry by Snyder.
Gain of 2 on the play.
So 3rd and 7.
Ball marked at the 41-yard line is 3rd down and 7 for the Cavemen.
Snyder, man in motion. He'll fake the handoff. He's going up top. He's got a man open.
Oh, yes! Good play.
And it is in and out of the hands of Spychalski.
Broken up by number 26. Is that Cooper Seth?
Snyder's pass intended for Spychalski.
Maybe it was number 6, Braden Smith.
By Cooper Suff.
So Suff on the breakup. And now
JP, it's 4th down and 7.
4th and 7. And
Mishawaka's punting.
Coach Kinder said he wanted every drive to end with a kick. I don't think this is what he had in mind. As Vandenberg's going to punt this one away. And a flag on the play. It's going to be delay of game.
That'll push Mishawaka back 5 more yards. 4th and 12.
7th penalty of the night.
And penalty is 4th down and 12.
Number 3, Braxton Brooks back to return the kick.
And another booming kick. And Brooks going to let it bounce. He's going to pick it up. Makes one man miss. Gets a nice block ahead of him. And he is wrestled to the turf at about the 28-yard line.
And
tackle by number 6, Camden Putz.
And here comes the Marian offense once again.
So it'll be at the 27-yard line, 14-yard return from Brooks.
Return of 14 by Brooks sets up the Knights 1st and 10, throw 27.
Let's go,
As
Marian.
Lucas Marr will return back under center. We've seen both quarterbacks in action. Now Marr in the shotgun, trips to the right. Osmond off his right hip. Now Brooks coming to the line. Fakes the handoff.
Whoa, nice play.
Right over the middle. And Brooks has enough for a Mishawaka Marian first down.
Marr to Brooks.
That'll be a pickup of 11 on the play. And it'll be another Marian. It should have been a first down.
Oh, it says second down.
No, there it goes. Now we got it flipped.
This Marian Knight first down is brought to you by J Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family.
So Marr in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Osmond up the middle, and he is met by a maroon wall and driven backwards, but they're going to say the forward progress will be stopped at about the 42.
Here's a score update. Valparaiso 7, Penn 7, first quarter. Center Grove 14, Westfield 0, first quarter.
Westfield with a new coach as Jake Gilbert has moved on to Wabash College. It's now 2nd and 6 with a man in motion. Marr hands it off to DeRoll, and DeRoll is going to be tackled. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. And it'll be a timeout,
Timeout, Mishawaka.
for Mishawaka. It'll be their first of the half. And while we're at it, we can thank our friends at Hoosier Spring Company. Since its founding in 1954, Hoosier Spring Company has developed into one of the world's leading manufacturers of custom springs for the aerospace, military, and commercial sectors. 3 generations of the South Lentic and Nitz families have demonstrated their commitment to Catholic education by providing tuition assistance to numerous students attending area Catholic schools, by providing financial assistance to numerous other Catholic school initiatives. Go Knights! Hoosier Spring is also the halftime sponsor of Marian Night football.
Mishawaka calling a timeout here, hoping to preserve some time to get another offensive drive to score some points before half.
So it'll be 3rd and 6 from the 42-yard line. Ball spotted at the left hash. So Marr will have trips to the right. He'll have Osmond at his right hip. He's going to roll to the right. Gets a nice block from Osmond. Now he's running for his life, and he'll be popped out of bounds.
Here's another score update. Elkhart 6, Concord 6, second quarter. Lakeland 14, St. Joe 0, second quarter. Valpo 14, Penn 7, first quarter.
And for Penn, that's the first game without Corey Yeoman roaming the sidelines.
Since 1984.
As Pete Reardon was named head coach of the Kingsmen during the summer. So it'll be 4th and 5 for the Knights. And a nice booming punt. Newsom's wisely going to let that one bounce. And bounce it does, as it'll be downed way back at the 15-yard line. That's where the Cavemen will take over. So the Cavemen now with 1st and 10. They have 2 minutes and 51 seconds to go 84 yards.
Yeah, that offense of Mishawaka is built to grind, to use time on the clock. Let's see if they can get a score in 2 minutes and 51 seconds.
Now the Cavemen, remember, deferred the kick to the second half. They will receive the kickoff. But the way Marion's defense is playing, you want to kind of squash any momentum that they've had. As the pitch is to Caden Smith,
right.
Goes around the end on the right side. And he'll bang his way towards the 25-yard line.
Tackled by number 13, Zimanowski, Mason Zimanowski. Got a first down on that play?
He got
Gain of
10. So 2:43 and counting. And an official's timeout. Mike Davidson wants to know what's up because he wants that clock to be rolling. And the clock will resume. Snyder again, flexbone, sends a man out to the right.
Nice
calls his
play,
own number, and he
number
is
99.
brought down by Caleb Johnson in the backfield. Johnson had eyes on Landon Snyder from the moment he snapped the ball.
Loss of 3 yards.
So 2nd and 13 from the 23. Cavemen once again in really no hurry to get back to the line of scrimmage. They do have 2 timeouts to work with, Marian with only 1. Snyder gets the snap. He's going to hand it off.
Misdirection play.
And that'll be Caden Smith, and he'll be close to the 35-yard line. Might be a yard or 2 short of the first down marker.
Now 3rd down and 5 to go. Well, JP, do you think it's going to be a run or a pass?
Oh, they've been running. 3rd and 3, and Snyder's going to hand it off, and they're going to have a first down.
Minute 17.
And that was Caden O'Neill with the first down. As the chain gang on the north side of the field. Now they decide they want to move quickly. As Snyder quickly barks out the call. And
that was a QB keeper.
He'll be down at about the 45 after a gain of 6. Timeout by the Mishawaka Cavemen.
Well, we have 1:03 to go before halftime. Mishawaka still has 55 yards to go. They're primarily a running offense. Marian just needs to prevent the big play at this point. Just get to halftime up 14-7. Let's go, Knights.
While we're waiting, the team's breaking the huddle. We're going to step aside. We'll hear from Liuna.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care, and deliveries keep moving. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line of Mishawaka. Minute 3 remaining in the half. We'll have a scoring recap, and we'll have scores from around the state at halftime.
Here's the pass.
And the pass is...
Well,
they're going to say it's it's an incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass on the sideline.
55 seconds left. 3rd down and 4. Yeah, I love the flexbone offense, but this is where maybe it has its limitations.
Ball brought back to the 45. It's 3rd down.
So you almost have to wonder if Marian can make the stop here, if Mike Davidson wants to use that last time out. Snyder under center, sends a man wide in motion. The handoff's going to be to O'Neal. He is going to be very close to the 1st down.
4th down.
And officials are going to stop the clock with 49 seconds to go. And they are going to give it to him. He probably gained 4.01 yards, but it's a 1st down regardless. Clock running. Snyder with the pitch to Caden Smith, who rounds the right side, and he'll go out of bounds.
36 seconds left.
They're going to give him a gain of 6. The ball will be placed at the 45. Well, they're actually going to move it up to the 44, so gain of 7. And more importantly for the Cavemen, the clock is stopped. 36.6 to go.
Gain of 7 on that play.
Number 26 just checked in for Mishawaka.
Snyder, 3-step drop, going to throw it over the top.
Intercepted!
It's picked off. And it's going to be back the other way.
Go.
Down to the 40, to the 45, and it's going to be smashed at about the 50. But that's going to be number 3, Braxton Brooks on the pick. But a flag on the play.
The official picks up the flag. Penalty during the return.
Hold on Mishawaka. That'll be declined.
Penalty is holding against the Cavemen. Marian will decline that. And the ball will be marked right on the 50-yard line with 24 seconds to go in the half. It's 1st and 10, Marian. 32 yards on that return for Brooks.
So that's a huge momentum swing going into the half.
And what will Coach Davidson decide to do here? Is he just going to be satisfied to go into halftime with a 14-7 lead?
Well, he's got a spread formation here. He's got 2 receivers to each side. He's got Osmond in the backfield.
He's going to go for more.
Marr, 3-step drop, fires it over the middle. It's complete.
Number 7.
And that'll be Aiden Hansen on the completion. It'll be a 1st down, and Marian quick to the line. Marr quickly spikes it.
That is an incomplete pass. But the Knights did get a 1st down, and the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with laborers, district council, and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are Lee Luna. What's happening?
So the officials trying to get. Are they going to call grounding on this? No, they're going to call a hold.
A hold.
Interesting.
They didn't have time to hold.
Yeah, that's...
The incomplete pass happened in about 1/10 of a second.
So 19.8 to go. As the clock now starts to run. And Mar with 10 seconds on the play clock.
Good
Two-step
pass protection.
drop over the middle, or to the sideline, and it's in and out of the hands of Terrence Lane. First time we've seen him.
The offensive line did a nice job of that time of making a wall. Excellent pass protection.
So now it's 2nd and 15 for the Knights at the 42. You might be able to take one more shot at deep pass play. So Mar with the shotgun.
Good pass
Three-step
protection.
drop. He's going to go over the middle and nearly picked off.
So 4th down. I tell you what,
As
number 71 blocked his man to the ground.
That's Garcia De La Torre who did that. Brady Hooten had the ball go in and out of his hands. And now with 5.2 seconds left here in the third quarter, I wouldn't be surprised if Mar just runs for his life and throws it up as high as he can throw it, or just hand it to Osmond. He'll make one man miss. He'll cut to the 30.
Oh, face mask.
Taken down. No call.
No, there's a call. There's a flag on the field. That's a personal foul. 15 more yards and possibly.
With 1/10 of a second to go. Let's see what Coach Davidson wants to do with this one. As the officials huddle. So Osmond with a gain of 10. We'll get some quick scores for you. Glenn leads Boone Grove 6-0, and Crown Point over Lowell 7-zip. Todd Kibbe on the call there. Just 75 seconds into the game. So it will be a face mask. We'll see what Coach Davidson wants to do with the play. Personal foul, face mask on the defense. So they're going to tack it on.
Wow. One more play.
Now, that'll put the ball at the 16. It would be a 32-yard kick for Primrose, and Mike Davidson is going to take a timeout. Timeout brought to you by Troy Gill with Health Markets Insurance Agency. Call Troy with your life, health, and Medicare needs. Call 574-360-0791. So 1/10 of a second to go as the Knights huddle around Mike Davidson.
I don't think they're kicking a field goal.
Well, Primrose is the kicker, and we don't see him in the huddle.
Troy Gill and Health Markets Insurance and Nemo's Pizza. And be sure to check out all the Marian Athletics toys.
Oh,
nope, Primrose does come in.
He is coming in.
So Primrose, that's going to be a 33-yarder from the right hash. It'll be Walton on the snap, Fimble to hold, and Primrose for the field goal. This will be the final play of the half. Walton, snap, Fimble, puts it down. The kick is up and good! Primrose from 33 at the buzzer. And the Knights go into halftime up 17-7.
He could have made that from 43. He had plenty of leg on that kick.
The only question was whether or not it was going to stay inside the goalpost, and it did. So a 33-yarder to end the first half.
Marian leads 17-7.
It's been an exciting first half here at Mishawaka. Marian, we come back, we'll have the scoring updates. We'll have scores from around the state, and we'll get you set for the second half as you're watching Marian Knights football right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world. But there is another path where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling, united by purpose, defined by the cause you fight for. No one can take away what it means to be among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
Did you know there's a place right here in Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care, and deliveries keep moving. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
I answered the call. Together, we fought for our nation and its people. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will continue to support my country and my community. Then and now, Semper Fidelis remains my promise. Always faithful, always Marine.
McDonald's Physical Therapy is a proud sponsor of tonight's game. McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center, located at 1005 North Hickory Road in South Bend. For over 3 decades, McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center has been helping Michiana get stronger every day. Their phone number is 574-233-5754, and their website is mcdonaldpt.com.
Our coverage of Marian High School sports on the Regional Radio Sports Network is presented by our friends at Harris & Sons Construction. For over a decade, Harris & Sons Construction have offered full-service remodeling and construction. Projects include kitchen, bathroom, and interior home remodeling. In addition, Harris & Sons Construction also offers roofing, siding, and interior-exterior painting. For more information on the services of Harris & Sons Construction, the phone number is 574-514-2104.
Got some scores to pass along as on this week 1 here of the high school football season. In the second quarter, there's a lot of eyes that are going to roll and turn with this score. The defending 6A state champions down 10 at home against Cathedral. Fighting Irish lead it 10-0 in the second quarter. Fairfield all over Goshen 37-7 in the second quarter. How about this score? Lafayette Jeff at Avon. It's 31-7 Lafayette Jeff. In a game that you can watch on RSN video with Vince Gray, Monty Lobb, Mike and Elena Knezovich. Kankakee Valley leads Rensselaer Central 3-0 in the first quarter. And over at the Field of Troy with our good friend and boss, Paul Condry, Steve McIntyre, and Frank Kilpakowski, it's the Trojans of Chesterton High School leading the Brickies 7-0 in the first quarter. Here it's 17-7 Marian at halftime. We come back, we'll get you the scoring update. We'll get you ready for half number 2 as you're watching Knights football right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care, and deliveries keep moving. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world. But there is another path where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling, united by purpose, defined by the cause you fight for. No one can take away what it means to be among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Did you know there's a place right here in Mishawaka that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Mishawaka gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Mishawaka provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmishawaka.org.
I answered the call. Together, we fought for our nation and its people. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will continue to support my country and my community. Then and now, Semper Fidelis remains my promise. Always faithful, always Marine.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world. But there is another path where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling, united by purpose, defined by the cause you fight for. No one can take away what it means to be among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
Back live here at Otalski Field on the campus of Mishawaka Marian High School. And do not adjust your television sets or computer screens. It is 17-7 Mishawaka Marian. The Cavemen came out, scored the first touchdown of the game with a 25-yard touchdown run in the first quarter by Gage Spychalski. And it was pretty much, he broke 2 tackles and could have walked into the end zone, which is basically what he did, as the Marian defense just kind of allowed him to go right through him. But Marian did not waver, and that was the big thing. There was a play on the very next drive as they started the second quarter, and Lucas Marr went down hard. Mike Davidson went to Mitch Fimble, and Fimble directed the Knights all the way down the field. They got the ball to the 37, and Brian Osmond muscles his way into the end zone, sheds blocker after blocker, and ends up walking into the end zone 7-7. The very next play, Lucas Primrose skies a beautiful kickoff right to Brady Newsom at about the 6-yard line. The ball goes right through the hands of the senior, and the Knights recover at the 15-yard line. Marr comes right back into the ball game, fires a 15-yard strike to Deuce Owens, and just like that, in 10 seconds, it's a 14-7 game. Then just before halftime, Marian gets the ball. They hand the ball off to Osmond. Osmond with a nice run, but a face mask at the end of the play brings the ball all the way up to the Mishawaka 16-yard line, and Primrose blasts one. And I mean blasts one. You said it yourself. You thought that was good from 45.
Yes.
I think it was good from 50, but it was an absolute missile, and it's 17-7 after the break. So a Spychalski 25-yard touchdown run, the only score for the Cavemen. Osmond with a 37-yard touchdown run. Owens a 15-yard TD reception from Lucas Marr, and Primrose a 33-yard field goal. If anything, the story of this game has been turnovers and penalties. The Cavemen have committed 2 turnovers on a fumble and an interception by Brooks, but they've also committed 7 penalties. They had 5 in the first quarter alone. And when you're playing a good team like the Marian Knights, you can't have 7 penalties and a half and expect to win a football game.
Hey, Marian Knight took advantage of the situation, and they turned those mistakes by Mishawaka into points.
So we're waiting both teams to arrive back on the field. The Cavemen are diagonally to the left of us. The Knights in the locker room back in towards the high school. We're going to step aside. We come back. We'll give you our final thoughts as we go into the second half. What does each team have to do to come out of here with a victory? As you're watching Knights football right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Did you know there's a place right here in Mishawaka that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Mishawaka gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Mishawaka provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmishawaka.org.
To battle is to fight, to struggle, to overcome, and ultimately for the Marine Corps, it means to win. There is no alternative. It's not just a statement of intent. It's a promise to our nation. A promise kept for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care, and deliveries keep moving. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Back here at Otelski Field, the Knights and Cavemen are back on the field. The Knights over here on the near sideline. The Cavemen on their half of the field for the second half in a rather large circle. The Cavemen this year are going to be playing in the 4A state tournament, dropping down from 5A a year ago. And the Mishawaka Marian Knights will remain in the 3A class for the state tournament. Last year, falling to West Noble 46-43 on the road in Ligonier. And a very, very upsetting way to end the season a year ago. We got more scores coming our way from our good friend Fred Maxey. Down in Indianapolis, the Center Grove Trojans lead the Westfield Shamrocks 14-6. Over in the region, the Merrillville Pirates lead the Andrean Fighting 59ers 6-0 in the Battle of Merrillville. And poor Tanner Camp, I thought my voice was going bad. It's 21-14 Kingsman in the second quarter.
Oh. Sounds like a great game.
And we know how excited that Tanner gets for the Penn football team. It's his first game over with the Kingsmen, so we wish him all the best. All right, Mike, we got 45 seconds. Let's take you into the huddle first with Mishawaka Marian. You're up 17-7, but you're kicking the ball off. What do you guys need to do to maintain this lead?
I think just play mistake-free football. Take care of the ball. Hold on to it when you have it on offense. Play disciplined defense, stop Mishawaka, and this game will turn out to be a victory for the Knights.
All right, now let's take you across the way in the huddle with Keith Kinder and the Mishawaka Cavemen. You guys are down 10 points. Turnovers and penalties have hurt you immensely. What needs to be done to turn this around?
I think Mishawaka needs to start playing with some urgency at this point. Their offense really isn't designed to come back from a deficit. So each possession that they have it, and they may only have 3, 4, 5 possessions in this half, they're going to have to take care of the football and try to score points.
So Primrose has the ball set up. He'll have it at the 40.
Well, we finally have some Friday night lights. Not Friday afternoon lights, but Friday night lights.
The afternoon sun has given way to beautiful blue sky here in Mishawaka for the second half. 17-7 Knights as Primrose going to kick it off from the 40. And this one's going to be a low line drive kick taken by one of the up men. And he'll be wrapped up at around the 36, 37-yard line. Jackson Snyder had the return. So Deerall with the tackle. And the Cavemen will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Mishawaka coming out in its flexbone formation.
So once again, sophomore Landon Snyder, the 5'10", 160-pound sophomore, barking out the signals. He'll get under center. He'll send a man in motion behind, and he'll call his own number. He'll go over the 40, but he's pushed back violently.
Snyder on the carry.
By the boom. Joseph Boone.
Joseph Boone.
Driven back by Joseph Boone.
Those are 6 of the toughest yards that Landon Snyder will have to earn all season long.
Probably that last yard was the toughest yard. He got smacked. There.
When Boone hits you, he hits you hard. And Landon Snyder found that out. This time the handoff's to one of the up men. And Smith breaks the tackle. He's into Marian territory, past the 35, down to about the 33.
As I suspected, Mishawaka is coming out and playing with a little more urgency.
So gain of 24 for the Cavemen.
It's a tough run up the middle.
Well, you look at the 3 backs that they have back there, Caden Smith, Caden O'Neill, and Gage Spychalski. They are not afraid to go right up the middle with these runs.
And that's where the sophomores are. You have a sophomore at center, sophomore at quarterback, and a sophomore at fullback.
So the clock running. It's under 10:50 to go. Just underway here in the third quarter. Marian leads at 17-7, but the Cavemen are driving. Snyder hands it off to O'Neill, and he's got lots of green grass in front of him, and a touchdown. He is in the end zone. Touchdown for Caden O'Neill. I thought the referees were going to spot him down at the 1. But O'Neill gets the forward progress, and he's in the end zone. And the Cavemen are an extra point away.
Yeah, Mishawaka
within 3.
They just went back to their bread and butter offense, just running right up the middle. Looks like they're going to go. Are they going for 2 point? No, they're kicking an extra point. No, they're kicking an extra point.
As Vandenberg is going to come in for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is
no good.
No good. So we'll see. We'll see how much that's going to come into play later on, as it is a 4-point contest.
Okay, Marian, it's time for you to respond. So receive this kickoff. Now it's your turn to march down the field.
So
and
the
score some
Cavemen
points.
go all the way in 6 plays. They take a minute 26 off the clock. The O'Neill 33-yard touchdown run. So 2 touchdowns on the ground for the Cavemen here in tonight's game. Spychalski got the scoring going in the first quarter with a 25-yard touchdown run. So with 10.5 to play in the third quarter, 17-13 in favor of the hosts. So we've seen a lot of kickoffs tonight taken by the up men. We'll see if Vandenberg is going to make Brooks return this one.
I'm thinking maybe he doesn't want to kick it to Brooks.
I'd try to kick it as far over his head as I possibly could. And here is the kickoff. Again, taken by one of the up men. This time it's Roan. He's to the 25. He'll get to around the 30. And a pack of cavemen, much to the enjoyment of the cavemen student section. It's on the left side of the Mishawaka cheering section. So it'll be 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the left hash mark on the 30.
12 yards on return. Puts the ball down. 1st and 10. Marian at their own 30.
So Roan with a 12-yard return. And Lucas Marr comes out. We've seen this formation a lot.
Trips right.
Trips on the right with Osmond glued to the right hip. And he's going to give a simple pitch to Osmond. He's to about the 35, and he'll be met.
Osmond is being hit hard by the Mishawaka defense, but he's hitting them just as hard.
So Isaiah Butte on the tackle. 6-yard pickup for the senior.
Gain of 6.
The senior, 179 carries, 919 yards on the ground a season ago.
Got trips left.
Little bit of movement, no flag coming out. Instead of high snap, we've seen that a couple of times. And Osmond gets railroaded at the 30-yard line. That had dangerous written all over it. Between the high snap, the pitch to Osmond, who never saw the oncoming Jackson Snyder.
Loss of 6 on that play.
It's a high snap.
3rd down and 10.
3rd down and 10.
I think if you told Mike Davidson that play would lose 6 and you'd still have the ball, I think he'd take it. Now
Good
here's
block by
Marr.
number
Gets
2.
a good block. Throws it right to Brooks.
Nice.
Makes one man miss. He'll be close to a Marian first down. But they're going to end up being about a yard short, maybe 2.
No, Brian Osmond has been running the ball well tonight, but on that play, he blocked and allowed Lucas Marr to step outside and throw that ball for a completion.
So a gain of 9 for the Knights, and that's going to force them to punt. And the ever dangerous Brady Newsom, who has had some adventures with the pigskin tonight, he's standing at about his 25-yard line. Punt by Zemanowski. And it will sail out of bounds. We'll see where the officials mark it. And it will be marked.
There's a flag on the play.
Illegal motion.
Illegal motion. And that will be
Punt put out of bounds at the 25.
there'll be a legal motion
Against the Knights.
on the Knights. That'll be the 3rd penalty.
Looks like the Knights are going to re-kick this.
And that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, because you got the time off the clock. And yes, they are going to decline it.
Okay, Marian Knights, we need a big stop on defense here.
36 yards on the punt. And that's where the Cavemen will take over.
The Cavemen had success on that last series, just running a dive play up the middle. Let's see if they try to fake a dive play and then run to the outside.
So Snyder brings his offense to the line. As Fred Maxey's doing God's work and giving us all the scores. As Snyder leaps over his offensive line.
Nice tackle by number 34, Nicholas Quiet.
I have to ask Fred, are these actual scores or are you just pulling numbers away?
No, I got one of those bingo rollers upstairs.
Cathedral's up 24-0 on Ben Davis in the third quarter. That's all you need to know, folks. Just that score right there. We'll get you some other ones after this play. Snyder.
Nice play.
Looked like he handed it off to...
Looked like number 6, Braden Smith, from his safety position, came up to make that tackle.
Looks like he handed it off to O'Neal, and the Cavemen now with a 3rd and 4. We'll get you some scores after this 3rd and 4 as the rapidly moving third quarter. And movement all over the place.
That's a penalty against Mishawaka. Is that number 8?
So other scores, Chesterton all over Hobart, 21-3 in the second quarter. Triton and LaVille, 7-6 in the third. Westfield and Center Grove. The Shamrocks leading it now 27-21. Lake Central over Munster, 10-0.
Oh, it's against Marian.
And that will result in a first down. North Judson leads Knox 8-7. Northwood all over Jimtown 20-0. Tippy Valley leads Wawasee 28-0. Leo over Lures 13-7. Crown Point all over Lowell 21-0. And Kankakee Valley.
Nice play by number 22. Sorry.
So Primrose, no, you're good. Primrose with the tackle.
Boy, he can kick and he can tackle.
On the carry.
So Spichalski.
That was a loss.
Gets wrapped up.
3 yards.
There's one score that Fred Maxey gave me that I really do not want to read, but I'll read it anyway. Lakeland leads St. Joe 21-0. I have to keep reminding myself we are pro-Marian and anti-St. Joe on this broadcast. As the handoff up the middle to O'Neal, he'll cross the 40 to about the 41.
That's been Mishawaka's best play in the second half so far. Just a dive right up the middle.
Braden Smith and Isaac Walton on his top.
So Braden Smith on the tackle. And now
4th down and 5? 3rd down and 5.
So 3rd and 5 for the Cavemen. Movement everywhere. Snyder instead is going to go right up the middle. With,
I think Marian
looks like O'Neal.
Marian is showing some movement before the snap, and that may be confusing the Mishawaka offensive line just a bit, and also their quarterback. Quarterback in this offense needs to be able to read the defense and make decisions. And with the defense moving before the snap like that, it may be confusing Landon Snyder just a bit.
So here's the biggest call of the game so far. 4th down
and 5
for the Cavemen. At the 41-yard line.
Watch the ball, Marian.
5 seconds on.
Oh! I thought they dove right up the middle and
around the right.
Option, got him, baby.
They pulled the ball out from the dive and pitched it right.
Smith goes around the right end.
Boy, number 2.
It'll be a first down.
Number 2 was blown up. If only he had the ball. Nice play by their quarterback, Landon Snyder.
Pickup of 7 by Caden Smith. And the Cavemen with a fresh set of downs as they're marching. 4:40 remaining in the third quarter.
Toss left.
And he's got a lot of running room.
Okay.
And that was Jackson Snyder.
It was Boone with the tackle. Down the field.
But that's going to be a gain of about 16, as that'll bring the ball down to the 32-yard line. And with 4.5 to play in the third quarter, you can start to see that Mishawaka Marian defense start to get a little bit tired.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about how this flex-bone offense just grinds you down. And Jackson Snyder, or Landon Snyder, running this to perfection as the give is going to go over the right tackle.
Boy, he hands that ball off quickly.
That one's to O'Neal.
O'Neal on the carry.
And he'll get it down to about the 28-yard line. Be a 4-yard pickup.
Gain of 6.
Well, they're going to give him 6. I thought it's a long 6. That's a long 4 yards, let me tell you.
Come on, Marian.
As Landon Snyder, 5 seconds ago on the play clock, and a nice handoff. And again, it's O'Neal, and O'Neal has gotten a bulk of the work here in the second half.
And Mishawaka now is beginning to chew up some yardage and the clock. They've held on to the ball most of the third quarter.
So it'll be 3rd and 5 from the 27. 3:20 remaining in the quarter. Knights lead it 17-13. Snyder to the line of scrimmage. 8 seconds on the play clock. Again, movement everywhere. This time an end around on the sweep, and Snyder looks to have enough for the first time. That's Jackson Snyder.
He has the first down.
And he'll have it.
Yeah, that's Jackson Snyder, the linebacker, now playing some running back.
He was a member of the primetime 25, 88 tackles on the defensive side. He also ran the ball 13 times for 3 touchdowns a year ago, so he does know how to handle the football and run with it. And again, handoff to O'Neal.
Nice job, 99.
A couple of yards.
Tackle by Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson on the stop.
2-yard pickup. Ball will be placed inside the 20-yard line. We'll call it about the 19.5. As that clock continues to run on a beautiful Friday night here in Mishawaka. Snyder going to keep it himself. He's going to go around the right side. Picks up about 2, maybe 3.
When Mishawaka keeps attacking that center guard gap on the right-hand side, pushing the ball up the field.
If you've never watched an offense like this, and you got to think about the Notre Dame teams that had Tony Rice in at quarterback. It's almost the same. You got guys that can run. You got to have speed. You got to have guys that can block. And once again, this time
the outside, Snyder.
Snyder again. He'll be smacked out of bounds. Simonowski on the tackle.
Jackson Snyder on the carry. Simonowski.
Well, Mishawaka is now playing their style of ball, picking up 3-4 yards at a time, chewing up the clock.
10-yard pickup by Snyder to be 1st and goal. with 79 seconds left on the clock.
Ball marked at the 7-yard line. It's first and goal.
Marian's on their heels a bit here. Needed someone to step up and make a big play, get some enthusiasm back.
And Smith going to bounce off a couple tackles. And he
ball's on the ground.
No signal from the ref yet.
Oh, they called him down.
Because O'Neal had the carry, and the Cavemen are going to retain possession. So it'll be second and goal from about the 2 after that 5-yard run by O'Neal. Snyder hands it off, and into the end zone is Caden O'Neal for the Mishawaka touchdown. So 19-17 the score now.
Mishawaka choosing to kick the extra point. Sometimes they go for 2.
Remember Vandenberg missed the extra point on the last touchdown. And Mishawaka almost didn't have enough guys on the field. So Vandenberg on to attempt the extra point. Here's the snap, hold, kick is up. And it's good. So Caden O'Neal with his second touchdown of the game has given the Cavemen the lead back. It's now 20-17 in favor of the visiting Cavemen. You're listening and watching Knights football right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care, and deliveries keep moving. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
I answered the call. Together, we fought for our nation and its people. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will continue to support my country and my community. Then and now, Semper Fidelis remains my promise. Always faithful, always Marine.
Back here live on the Regional Radio Sports Network, 48 seconds remaining in the third quarter as Vandenberg's kick is going to be taken by Brooks at the 18. Makes a couple of moves and he'll get out to about 27-yard line, about a 9-yard return on the kick, and the Knights will take over. First and 10 at the 40, at the 27-yard line, and the Knights have a man down.
There is a timeout on the field for a player injury.
There'll be a timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. 20-17 in favor of the Cavemen here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
It's a
Did you know there's a place right here in Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
Hi, this is Paul Country of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
The handoff right out of the injury timeout goes to Osmond on the end around to the right. And he'll be over the 30 to about the 31. It'll be his 4-yard pickup. And we have another injury on the field. This time it's a Mishawaka Cavemen player. Not a very warm day here in Mishawaka, but you still got to get your fluids in your system.
That's right.
To avoid the cramping up. And that's, I don't care what sport you're playing in, but I think, sometimes the kids won't drink enough, and we can't tell kids and the student athletes not to drink enough. They should be drinking all, and that's what leads to a lot of these cramps. And as we see that Xavier Juarez, the injured player, but that's the second straight player we've seen go down with what looks to be a cramp.
Mm-hmm.
So
Marian's had a lot of success with this formation. We have trips left. 2nd down and 6.
So again, Marr in the shotgun with Osmond glued to his left hip. There's a shotgun snap. And again.
No.
And this time the ball is loose, and Mishawaka is going to recover it.
Marian ran that play earlier in this half, and it didn't work out too well. And now they just tried running it again, and the ball's fumbled and recovered by Mishawaka on the 31-yard line. The Knight defense is back out onto the field. They spent most of this third quarter there.
So the second turnover for the Knights. So both teams have turned it over twice. The Knights on 2 fumbles, Cavemen on a fumble and a pick. And this is a golden opportunity for the Cavemen to make this a 2-possession game late in the third quarter.
It's time for the Knights to rise up, make a stand.
So Snyder brings his offensive core to the line. 1st and 10 of the 28. Ball on the right hash. And the handoff goes right up the middle to O'Neal. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep going with O'Neal.
Dive to the right. 5 yards.
It'll be a 5-yard pickup, and that'll be the last play of the third quarter. 3 quarters down, 12 minutes to go here at Mishawaka Marian, and we've got a barn burner on opening night. The Cavemen strike back with 13 points in the third quarter, and they'll take a 20-17 lead into the fourth. Hold on to your hats because we're in for a good one here in the fourth quarter as you're watching Knights football right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care, and deliveries keep moving. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world. But there is another path where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling, united by purpose, defined by the cause you fight for. No one can take away what it means to be among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
First play out of the third quarter break is a handoff to Caden O'Neill, who has been the workhorse for the Cavemen in the fourth quarter. 7-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, Mishawaka keeps running the same play over and over. Just to dive right.
Oh, they're going to give him. They're going to give him enough for the first down.
It's a 10-yard play. Here it is again.
Once again, the handoff back to O'Neill.
There we go.
And this time,
number 50.
The Knights are all over that. As Eric Logan on the stop. First time we've said his name tonight. So it'll be 2nd and 11 after that 1-yard loss. Snyder going to call his own number, and he's going to get wrapped up after a couple-yard pickup.
Snyder on the carry.
That tackle was by Abraham Luzania, number 10.
So now 3rd and 9.
And
this will be an interesting call if they don't make it here.
Well, I think Mishawaka's just going to stand there for 30 seconds. Going to let the clock run, take their time, make a decision.
3-game winning streak in this series on the line for the Cavemen. Snyder takes the snap, pitches off to Spychalski. He's got a lot of running room to the left, makes a couple tackles miss. He's close to the end zone. And he's in. 15-yard touchdown.
That was almost the same play in the exact same spot on the field that Mishawaka scored earlier in the game. Same player scored each time, number 13.
So Spychalski with 2 touchdowns, O'Neill with 2 touchdowns.
Marian offense needs to stay out on the field for a bit, give the defense a rest, and to score some points.
Yeah, they ran 4 plays in that third quarter. And the kick by Vandenberg is up and good. And with 9:45 to go in the game, 27-17 to the visiting Cavemen.
And Mishawaka scored 20 unanswered points at this.
It was 17-7 at the half. And then, like you said, Mike, they went to their bread and butter and just ran and ran and ran and ran some more.
And it was the same play almost every time. Just a dive right or dive left.
It's basically been six players touching the ball. The Snyders, Spychalski, O'Neill, Smith, and Coley Rosenberg, the center. Got some other scores to quickly pass along. Crown Point all over Lowell 35-0 in the second quarter. Chesterton leads the Brickies 21-3 in the House of Troy. Merrillville 14, Andrean 0. Warsaw leading Michigan City 14-7. Lafayette Jeff 34-7 over Avon. Concord leads Elkhart 13-6. Lake Central over Munster 17-zip. And Tanner Camp's got a great first game at Freed Field. Valpo 21, Penn 21. Third quarter. Here it's 27-17 in favor of the Cavemen. As Vandenberg waiting to kick off.
What's he waiting for?
And he'll let it go.
Brooks.
Ball once again fielded by Brooks.
Get
Nearly
upfield.
gets a good block. Going to try to cut the other way. And he'll be met at around the 10-yard line.
Okay, Marian, it's time for you to hold on to the ball, get a first down. Just get one first down.
As the offense huddles around head coach Mike Davidson. They'll break the huddle.
Can't score 10 points on one play. Let's try to string together some positive plays. Let our defense rest. Score some points.
So Lucas Marr with 2 to the right, 1 to the left in the shotgun formation. He has a man in motion. Takes the snap, hands it to the Brooks on the end around, and Brooks will get out to about the 14.
Right. Braxton Brooks on the carry.
So a couple yards for the senior. Ken Clemente with the tackle for the Cavemen. 2nd and 8 at the 14. Time now starting to become the enemy of the Marian Knights. And movement all over the place.
Flags on the play.
Offsides on Mishawaka.
Well, that helps the Knights.
Offside against the Cape.
That'll change a 2nd and 8 into a 2nd and 3.
8th penalty of the night for Mishawaka.
Bring the ball out to the 19 and make it 2nd down and 3 for the Knights.
Brooks is back in the game. He had to leave earlier for a cramp.
So Marr with empty backfield and movement again everywhere. This time a timeout called by Mike Davidson.
Taken by the Knights.
So once again, just wanted to remind you that next week the Marian Knights will make the trip down US 31 and they'll take on the Eagles of Culver Academies. That game, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Mike and I will be on the air with you at 7 o'clock from Oliver Field in the cornfield at Culver. Was actually down there a couple weeks ago. They have done a remarkable job with Oliver Field down there. The press box is absolutely beautiful. It's a nice, large brick building that we're going to get to spend a few hours ago. Wasn't sure if they had air conditioning, but it'll be a nice turf field, and the job that Andy Durrell has done down there with the Eagles. Can't wait to get down there for week 2. It'll be the Eagles and the Knights. Again, 7 o'clock pregame show. Marr, low snap, fires it in and out of the hands of Deuce Owens for an incomplete pass.
Pass intended for Owen.
And a flag on the far side.
On the play.
And, of course, everyone blaming the other party.
An eligible man downfield.
Yep.
That'll go against the Knights.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Ball against the Knights, 5 yards.
Now we're back to 2nd and 8.
So, fifth penalty of the night for the Knights. So 8.5 to go in the contest. So mass confusion on the field with the officials and the chain gang. They finally get that sorted out.
Here we go.
So Mara in the shotgun. Takes one step back, fires a pass. It's complete on the right side. Pickup of about 3.
I'd like to see Marian try to throw the ball down the field again. They have some big receivers, big, fast receivers.
Braxton Brooks with the reception. Again, 2 receivers to each side of the field. 3rd and 4 for Marian. You may get your wish, Mike. And this time, timeout taken by the Cavemen. 7:49 remaining.
Well, Mishawaka had to call that timeout because there were a few Marian receivers uncovered. A little confusion on the defensive side of the ball tonight.
Fans, if you want to get in on the Yard Line sponsorship, contact Michelle Horvath.
Looking at the future schedule for the Marian Knights. They'll be at Culver next week. And then the calendar turns to September. They will be at South Bend Adams. And then September 13th.
The Holy War.
Holy War 24. And then the bulk of the NIC schedule the rest of the way. At Penn, Washington, New Prairie, at Elkhart, and South Bend Riley. So here we go. 3rd and 4 at the 18. 7:49 remaining in the contest. Marr back to pass.
Uh-oh.
He eludes one.
He eludes. Right there, number 3.
He's going to throw it. Brooks with the catch. Cuts to the inside. Still on his feet. At about the,
all the way to
40.
The 40.
It'll be a pickup of 22 yards. And a first down.
That was a great play. Great composure by the quarterback, Lucas Marr. This Marian Knight first down is brought to you by J Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family.
So a much-needed first down for the Marian Knights.
Gain of 22 yards and the Marian Knights first down.
So 1st and 10 from the 40.
No.
Pitch to Osmond, and laundry flying everywhere.
Osmond on the carry, flags on the play.
And that's going to be a hold on the Knights.
He tried running a quick pitch to the right.
Holding call against the Knights.
Come on, officials. Well, a 1st and 10 changes into what?
1st and 20 now.
1st and 20.
Ball spotted left hash mark on the 30.
2-by-2 formation.
Snap to Marr. Nice pass and pitch and catch with Owens. Owens just beyond the 40 to about the, or excuse me, beyond the 35 to about the 36.
Gain of 7.
Oh, they're going to give him the 37. Clock continuing. Oh, no.
Game 7 on the play.
I'd like to see Marian attack the outside with the pass a little more.
So Marr back in the shotgun. Quick drop, and it's incomplete.
I think that was meant to be a slant pass.
A little bit of miscommunication with
perhaps the
DeRoll.
receiver.
Yeah, DeRoll was cutting from the slot position. And Marr threw it behind him. In any event, 3rd and 13 from the 37.
37-yard line. It's 3rd and 13.
Marr, Brooks in motion. And again, flag, and it's going to be delay a game.
I think we may have a player that went down. Number 33 of Mishawaka.
That's Marian Fowler, the injured player. There's a delay of game penalty on the Knights.
Well, I think you're going to have to throw on this play. It's 3rd down and 18.
They actually call that the procedure penalty.
We're going to have to get some yards, keep this drive going.
I did say that time. I heard it that time.
So 7:05 remaining, down 2 possessions. You'd almost have to think if they get 10 yards, they might think about going for it.
I think that they're going to have to.
And here's the snap. Marr gets it to Brooks. Brooks going to go all the way around, and he's got some room and a nice block. And Brooks going to get past the 40, close to the 45-yard line.
That nice block was made by number 2, Brian Osman. Again, running the ball and being able to block.
So they're going to call him out at the 39. Be 4th and 11, so decision time for Mike Davidson.
Offense is out on the field. Offensive play is coming in.
And they are going to go for it. Now Marr, quickly flushed out of the pocket, rolls to the left. And he's going to fire it just short of his intended receiver, Deuce Owens. And they will turn it over on downs.
All night long, he's been flushed to his left-hand side, and he's a right-handed quarterback. So he has to turn his body to throw, and that's difficult to do. I wonder if that's part of Mishawaka's strategy, to force the quarterback to the left.
So the Cavemen will take over. 6:47 remaining in regulation.
Mishawaka takes over 1st and 10 at the Marian 38-yard line.
Cavemen have won 3 in a row, looking to make it 4, and stop us if you've seen this before. Handoff up the middle to O'Neal, and he will be stopped at the line of scrimmage.
It's by number 63.
O'Neal on the carry.
number 63 with the tackle. That's Isaac Walton.
So a pickup of 1 for O'Neill, and now Mishawaka in no hurry to get back to the line.
No.
Play clock under 10.
This is Mishawaka ball right here.
And Snyder again to O'Neill. He'll make one man miss, and he's got lots of real estate in front of him, and he will score. 37-yard touchdown, and O'Neill has his 3rd touchdown of the night. And the Cavemen are up by 16.
Mishawaka, the Knights were in the right spot to stop that play. Just number 2 from Mishawaka was a little too strong, broke through some tackles. When that happens, it helps the defense if they gang tackle, if they can get more than one body on the running back, bring them down.
Here's Vandenberg's kick. It is up, and it is good. 27 unanswered points for the Cavemen, and they now lead it 34-17. Scores from around the area at halftime. Battle of LaPorte. New Prairie leads it 21-7 over LaPorte. Hammond Central 22, South Bend, Washington 18. Glenn leads Boone Grove 6-3 at the half, and South Central Union Mills all over Bowman Academy 36-8 in quarter number 2. Well, thank Fred Maxey for getting all these scores.
Thanks, Fred.
Mishawaka has silenced the crowd as some of the crowd begins to file to the exits.
Well, Mishawaka has dominated the second half here tonight, but let's see how the Marian Knights do here from now until the end of the game. Let's see if they continue to fight and finish strong, possibly gain some momentum that will take them into next week's game against Culver. Let's try to do something positive here.
So Vandenberg's got the ball teed up at the 40 on the left hash. Just under 6 minutes remaining in regulation.
It's Brooks with the return.
And he's going to fumble the ball, but he will be able to pick it up. Got a hole. He's to the 35, to the 40. And the ball looked to be on the turf. It's still in his hands. And he's finally wrestled down.
He just refuses to go down. And I liked his return that time. It was much better than the last one. I think that's probably been the best kickoff return of the night for Marian. Instead of running it to the wide side of the field like they've done, this time they ran it straight up the field and gained some yards. It was a nice play. Let's go, Knights. Let's
so the
finish
Knights
strong.
will have it at the 44-yard line.
Let's finish strong, Knights.
Marian at quarterback still. 2 receivers deep to the near side. Now they're going to move closer to the football. 1 to the far side. Osmond in the backfield with Marr. 3-step drop. Going to fire it over the middle, and it's picked off. And
that's your top 25 player.
That'll be Jackson Snyder on the interception. And Marr threw it right between the 2 and the 6 on the jersey of Snyder, and the Cavemen will have the ball back.
Yeah, Jackson Snyder's had the ball in his hands a lot tonight, mostly on offense, but now on defense too.
So 3rd turnover of the night for the Knights. So 34-17 as the Cavemen trot back to the field.
Mishawaka will start 1st and 10 at the Marian 39.
So Just over 5.5 remaining here in the ball game. Landon Snyder going to hand the ball right off to O'Neal. O'Neal already with 3 scores today. He's going to get wrestled out of bounds. Tackled by Kerzetter.
PJ, I think we have a new player in for the Knights. He's number 20, but I'm not sure his name. Anyway, a shout out to number 20.
And Fred Maxey tore up the roster that I had that had his number on it. The handoff goes up the middle.
Let's try to keep him out of the end
22,
zone.
Will Mason with his first carry of the night. He'll gain about 6, and he'll have a first down for the Cavemen. And they are content with allowing that ball, or that clock, to just melt. And he'll get the ball once again. He's over the 25-yard line down to the 24. 3-yard pickup for Mason.
Different player, but same play. Just a dive left with the fullback.
And an injury timeout.
That may be number 20.
We're going to step aside while he's getting looked at. It's 34-17 in favor of the Cavemen as you're watching Mishawaka Marian Knights football right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Back here on the Regional Radio Sports Network as Harrison Gibbons is helped off the field. The clock now running, 4:50 remaining in the ball game as Snyder takes his place under center. And once again, the handoff is to Mason, who goes up the middle. And it looks like the night is done for Caden O'Neal. As the Cavemen just continue to pound and pound and pound the ball. This time a 5-yard pickup for Mason.
3rd down and 3. Come on, Knights, finish strong. Make a stop.
Handoff once again up the middle to Mason, and he is wrestled down behind the line of scrimmage as the clock ticks to under 4 minutes to go.
That was number 50, I think, on the tackle.
Tackle on the play by Wyatt Legas.
Wyatt Legas on the tackle. And let's see what Keith Kinder wants to do with this play.
Oh, it's 4th down and 3.
4th and 3. And I would not be surprised if Keith decides he wants to take a timeout here. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to take a timeout. We've already told you about the schedule for the Knights. The Cavemen, they have their home opener in the Backyard Brawl next week. They host the Penn Kingsmen, and then it is all NLC the rest of the way at Concord, then hosting Northwood, and then it's just rotating home and away at Goshen, Northridge at home, at Warsaw, Plymouth at home, and at Wawasee to end the year. So 4th and 3 for the Cavemen. And they're going to leave the offense on the field with 3:15 remaining in the contest.
Well, I think it's just going to be a dive right, or maybe it could be option right.
And
nope.
Handoff goes up the middle, and it's going to be a touchdown for Mishawaka.
Number 28.
As Carson Francis with the 18-yard score.
Francis on the 20-yard touchdown run.
Football is a 4-quarter game. Marian definitely won the first 2 quarters. Mishawaka won the last 2, the most important.
33 unanswered for Keith Kinder's squad. And with 3:09 left, Vandenberg looks to add another point to the total, and it is good, and it's 41-17.
Mishawaka has scored how many points?
34 unanswered.
34 unanswered points. If you recall, before the half started, JP asked me what the keys to the game were in the second half, and I said that Marian had to play mistake-free football. And
three turnovers and 8 penalties for the Knights. And
what they have
Mishawaka has not played mistake-free football by any stretch of the imagination. They had 2 turnovers and they had 8 penalties of their own.
That happened in the first half.
But the 2 turnovers, one was a interception by Brooks, and the other one was a fumble on a kickoff, and that made it. That was ended up being turned into the second touchdown of the game for the Knights. Since then, Mishawaka has done a much better job of holding on to the football. And Fred Maxey with even more scores. Penn is turning it up now, 42-28. We'll have to see if Tanner Camp has a voice come Monday. And Kankakee Valley up on Rensselaer Central, 17-zip.
Run it straight up the field. There you go, young man.
And he'll be forced out of bounds.
I think that would be Brooks again. Yeah.
That game between Kankakee Valley and Rensselaer, play for one of the cooler named trophies. They play for the Cracker Barrel.
Ah, is that a gift certificate?
I would like to know where the Cracker Barrel is between Kankakee Valley and Rensselaer Central.
I don't know.
Having been to both of their schools, there was not a whole lot in between the two of them.
Okay, nice. Let's finish the game strong. We got 3:09. Let's build some momentum for next week.
So Fimble in at quarterback now, and his pass is complete on the left side.
I remember he came in the first half and sparked the first scoring drive for the Knights. Mitch Fimble.
And Terrence Lane on the reception. So a 9-yard pickup. Second one. Fimble's next completion is made on that far side.
That's a first down. The Marian Knight first down is brought to you by J Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family.
So back-to-back completions for Fimble. 19 yards on the two completions. Fimble once again, quick strike. That one goes in and out of the hands of Lane on the far side. Correction, that was DeRoll. So second down and 10 for Fimble and the Knights. Mitch going to fake the handoff. And he's going to escape, get past the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 5
and
yards.
He'll be at midfield. I knew he could skate, never knew he could run.
That might come in handy later in the season when there's an ice storm.
As Abe Presadio on the tackle. Fimble again. Pass complete to Owens here on the near side. And
we got something cooking now. It's another first down.
Another first down for the Knights.
The Marian Knight first down is brought to you by J Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family.
Fimble. Quick step.
Nice.
Pass is complete on the far side.
Touchdown.
And DeRoll's got a lot of running room, and he will score. 41 yards to pay dirt.
Nice throw by Mitch Fimble.
.41 yards, Fimble to DeRoll, and it's now 41-23. Extra point pending.
I like to see that. Finish the game on a good note, Marian.
There's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and good.
It's good.
And the kick is good.
41-yard touchdown pass from Fimble to DeRoll. The Primrose extra point good. And with 103 seconds left in regulation, it's a 17-point lead.
So do you expect to see just a regular kickoff
This
here?
would be interesting to call. I mean, you still want to tell your team that you're fighting for a victory, even though you're down 17. I would not be surprised with an onside kick.
Covered 75 yards in 6 plays, capped off by a 19-yard.
I think that's what it's going to be.
41-yard touchdown play from Mitchell Fimble to Jack Darrell.
You have an opportunity to practice a play in a game. May as well do it.
All right, here we go, baby. Who's out there?
So Primrose takes about 4 steps Ball's got to get to at least the 50. Unless a Mishawaka player touches it. Here's the kick from Primrose. Said he goes high in the air.
And,
and it'll go out of bounds.
Primrose kick is out of bounds.
Well, I'm glad they had a chance to practice that play because later in the season, when they may need to use that, they'll be better at it.
So it'll be Cavemen football.
And we have some new Marian players coming into the game. We have number 18.
Got to go deeper into the depth chart. Once again, the roster that I had,
Thanks, Fred.
Fred Maxey decided he was going to rip into shreds. Thanks, Fred.
Number 12 for the Knights in the game.
Jeez. And Landon Snyder will be content to take a knee.
Now, this is what you call victory formation.
Yep.
For the Cavemen.
Or at Notre Dame, we call it the genuflect formation.
The genuflect formation.
So the Cavemen will go to 1-0 on the year. And they will head home next week. And boy, do they got a good test next week. Penn comes to town. Backyard Brawl 24 from Steel Stadium.
There may be 10,000 people at that game.
I would not be surprised one bit. That is always a great game, no matter whether it's at Steel Stadium or at Freed Field. And the Knights, as we made mention, make the trip about 45 minutes south, about 10 to 15 minutes to the west. And they'll take on the Eagles of Culver Academy as Snyder takes a knee, and that'll be the final snap of the game as the clock ticks towards 0. And that'll do it.
I know the Marian Knights are wanting next week to come fast.
So opening week is in the books as the Knights ran out to a 17-7 lead, but Mishawaka, 34 unanswered points. A late touchdown by the Knights made the final score what it was, 41-24 in favor of the Cavemen. We're going to step aside. We come back, we'll have the players of the game, and we'll get you out of here as you're watching Knights football on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care, and deliveries keep moving. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
To battle is to fight, to struggle, to overcome, and ultimately for the Marine Corps, it means to win. There is no alternative. It's not just a statement of intent. It's a promise to our nation. A promise kept for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post 9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Back here at Otulski Field, the Knights fall 41-24 to the Mishawaka Cavemen. Cavemen got off to the good start. Spychalski with a 25-yard touchdown run. He made it 7-0. But Brian Osmond with a 37-yard run. And then Deuce Owens with a 15-yard touchdown catch made it 14-7. Primrose knocked a field goal through the uprights with 1/10 of a second remaining in the half. And there was optimism. There was optimism over here at Otulski Field. But then the second half started, and it was basically the Caden O'Neill show. 3 touchdowns in the second half, 33, 2, and 37, and 34 unanswered points for the Cavemen. Mishawaka Marian would eventually get their last touchdown on a 41-yard pitch and catch. Mitch Fimble to Durrell, and it's 41-24. Last thing before we go, players of the game. We'll start with the Mishawaka Cavemen.
Mishawaka Cavemen, player of the game, Caden O'Neill. He ran that dive play time after time after time, gaining yards, chunk yards, long runs, breaking tackles. He's only a sophomore, weighs 185 pounds, but he played bigger than that tonight.
115 yards for Caden O'Neill and 3 scores. And the player of the game for the Mishawaka Marian Knights,
Brian Osmond, number 2 for the Marian Knights. Not only did he run the ball hard tonight, but I also noticed that he was blocking in the backfield on some key completions during the game.
So those are our players of the game. It'll be Caden O'Neill for Mishawaka and Brian Osmond, a pair of twos. Twos are wild here for the Marian Knights in tonight's opening game.
Hey, I just want to take a minute and thank JP and the crew upstairs. This is my first game ever broadcasting, and it was a little rough, but I think as time goes on, I'll get better. I really enjoyed myself here tonight. I loved watching the Marian football team. They played really well for a half tonight, and I have no doubt when they step onto the field against Culver next week that they will be ready to go and play hard and play well and maybe correct some of the mistakes that they had tonight with the snapping and the fumbling. Take care of those mistakes that they made, and this game's a lot closer tonight, no doubt.
I'm already looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
We're going to have some fun down at Culver.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it for our coverage of opening night here at Otulski Field. For camera woman Liz Hoosier, Fred Maxey, just going up and down the stairs giving us scores. For Mike Rock, my broadcast partner, this is J.P. Joubert. Once again, the final score here in Week 1. The Marian Knights fall to the Mishawaka Cavemen, 41-24. We'll see you next week at Culver Academy. Pregame at 7 o'clock, kickoff at 7:30, right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. From all of us at RSN, we wish you good night. We'll see you next week from Oliver Field in Culver, Indiana. Good night, everyone.